be directed towards your attorney. The first person that I'm calling into the courtroom is Sean Ramirez. If you'll please come to the podium. And Edward Cruz, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Sean Ramirez?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Hello, sir. Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Sean Ramirez, 10/15/1992.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that charge. 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony. I did not find probable cause as to that charge. Aggravated assault, a Class 6 felony, and 3 counts of disobeying or resisting a mandate or order of the court, a Class 1 misdemeanor. The date of these alleged offenses is April 19th and May 8th of this year. I did appoint, for the remaining charges, I did find probable cause, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing on May 14th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 18th at 8:30. Prior to the hearing, the court was provided with a victim impact statement. The court did take into consideration the concerns and wishes of the alleged victim, as well as the recommendations of the state in making a determination of what the appropriate release condition should be. You have a secured appearance
What up,
bond
Bruce?
in the amount of $50,000. If you're able
Wow.
to post bond, you will receive cell services on electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim.
Wait, thank you for that, Daily Heart.
The same location as the
Wild
alleged
Moon.
victim. You
Taylor,
will be
thank you for that
permitted with
repost.
civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. This, I do need to make a correction here.
There we go. Can you guys hear me? Can I get a yes if you can hear me, and a no if you can't hear me, if you will. Hey, I can't complain. I just got back from a Costco. I bought my wife a dozen roses at Costco. I went to buy 3 balloons at a Dollar Tree, and that was all under $30. So hey, I'm happy. Hopefully my wife's happy. Hopefully that'll definitely give me some points. Hey, what's up, Kimberly? How you doing? What's up, Tatted?
You cannot possess any
What's up,
weapons.
Jose? Luis?
If there is an order of protection,
Now you can hear me.
you must comply with the terms of the order of protection, and if there's an injunction against harassment that is issued, you must comply with the terms of that order. You are also cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment. Failing to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date will result in the loss of any bond that you post.
What else, Smoggy?
For your arrest and additional bond.
Thank you for dropping that comment on that video for
I think you have
Silas.
everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, so I have to pay the bond in order to leave?
Yes, and
Somebody has
just
to
to be clear,
pay
it's a secured appearance bond. That means 10% of the $50,000 plus collateral.
50,000?
Collateral is determined by any bonding company that you choose. They will tell you what they will accept for collateral. Do you have any other questions?
Am I staying here until what day?
So
What up, Ryan? Hector?
If the state does not file charges within 48 hours, you will be released. If they do file charges
Jeckert?
and you're not able to post bond,
Ash?
then your first court date will be on
Just-
May 14th at 8:30.
Timber? Jeanette?
Would I be able to put my car as collateral?
That's for the bonding company to decide
Okay.
what they will accept for collateral.
Okay.
Plot twist, he got a Datsun.
If you have no other questions, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Tatted.
Thank you.
Now I know these guys wear white t-shirts all the time. Man, I don't remember the last time I wore a white
Cruz, will you
t-shirt.
please come to the podium?
Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hey, Rissa, thank you for that. Daily Heart, highly appreciate you.
Kevin Sabarin, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
My name's Edward Cruz, 10/03/1990.
You were here today on a
Not
new
the
case.
Datsun.
You
What
were
up,
charged
G?
with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of discharging a firearm within a city limit, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on May 14th at 8:30 and a preliminary
Ali,
hearing
thank
on May
you.
18th at 8:30.
Ash, thank
You have
you.
a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime and you cannot possess any weapons. Failing to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional
up,
bond
gratitude,
would be
Mark?
imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, so am I not able to have the firearms that are registered to me?
Shh, forget
Right
about
now,
that.
you are not to be in possession of any
Okay.
firearms due to the nature of the charge.
And then, are those taken from me, or do I place them somewhere?
So I have appointed an attorney to represent you. That is
Okay.
legal advice, so
Okay.
you need to contact the attorney.
Okay, and if I could pay the 10 in whole, am I allowed to do that?
So it's a secured appearance bond, so it's 10% plus collateral, so it would be $1,000 plus collateral, or you could pay the $10,000.
Yeah, I could pay the 10.
That's up to you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
any other questions?
No.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Yeah.
Hey, that Z, the Datsun, that one was badass.
Mr. Seabairn.
Did he snitch himself? Hell yeah.
Sorry if I'm mispronouncing
Nikki,
your last name.
Tinted Angel.
And Shavante Barnett, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door?
And this is
Sir,
the 8
can you
p.m.
please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Kevin Seabaird, October 25th, 1994.
I don't trust that guy. Look at his glasses.
In a new case, you were charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of assault with intent to injure, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges, and I did appoint an
Does he have
attorney to
glasses on, or
represent
is-
you
am
in
I
this
seeing
matter.
things? Yeah,
I
he
did
has
appoint
glasses
an
on. I
attorney
knew
to
it.
represent him in this matter. I don't know if this is one of those issues with pretrial services.
I believe yes, on the first one.
No, does he have glasses?
Modified and asked about I don't know.
Hey, what up, Nikki? Thank you.
Okay, so is it showing on your end that, does the order show that I've appointed an attorney, because on my end, it's showing that it's
No.
not? Okay, is it showing now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I did
Looks like
appoint
it,
an
right?
attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on May 14th at 8:30.
What up,
And a
Kiki?
preliminary hearing on May 18th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, you cannot have any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. Failing to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. Do you have any questions for me?
No questions.
Okay.
Violence.
If you'll go ahead and have a seat, we're going to bring the order to you when it's ready. Thank you.
28? Oh, that's all bad.
Mr. Barnett, will you please come to the podium? And Omar Bravo, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Hello, sir. Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of
Market
birth?
Barnett, 81590.
You were here today because you have a probation violation.
Is he a
warrant.
basketball player?
I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May 15th at 8:30. Your warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you're able to post bond, you cannot possess any weapons, and you must appear for your court date. Failing to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
That fool's
If you
tall.
please step to your left, officer, we'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Bravo, will you please come to the podium? And Gabriel Tapia Aguilar, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Hey, T Wolf, thank you for that follow. Highly appreciate you. Hey, what up, Becca? How's it going?
Hello, sir. Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Omar Bravo, 51987.
You are here today because you have a probation violation warrant. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May 15th at 8:30. Your warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, you cannot possess any weapons, and you must appear for your court date. Failing to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
So my probation court is on the 15th, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, officer, we'll give you your paperwork.
Smoggy.
Mr. Tapia Aguilar, if you'll please come to the podium, and Andrew Menjavar, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
For anybody that's new here, this is live. This is happening
Hello,
in
sir.
real
Can
time.
you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
My first and last name is Gabriel Tapia Aguilar.
Donna,
My date
thank
of
you.
birth is November 2nd, 2005.
Hey, what's
You
up
were
with
here
that fool's
today because
hair?
the warrant was issued for your arrest when you failed to appear for your court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on May 14th at 8:30. Your warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500.
What up,
If
DJ
you are
Leo?
able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. Failing to do so would result in the loss of
Felt
any
perm.
bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I need
Mikhail,
to
thank
talk to you
you.
about. Do you have any questions for me?
Would I get paper, will I receive paperwork about this?
When you step to your left, the officer is going to give you your
Yes, ma'am,
paperwork.
thank you.
Mhm.
That fool
Okay.
thinks it's,
Okay.
he thinks it's all fun and games till he's holding somebody's pocket. Hey, Florida
Mr.
girl, thank you for
Minibar,
that
if
daily
you'll
heart.
please come to the podium, and Corey Campbell, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Bella, I'm looking for that day.
Hello, sir. Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Andrew David Menjvar, April 28, 1987.
You were here today because you have
97?
one new case, and then you have a probation violation.
I got a
warrant.
daughter his
On your
age.
new case, you were charged with one count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony,
The
and one count of
hell?
possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6
Oh,
felony.
shit.
I did not find probable cause as to either of those charges. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing on May 22nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing
Oh,
on May
87.
27th at 8:30. Because I could not find probable cause for this matter, you would be eligible for release.
Was it 97 or
Because
87?
I could not
I
find
heard.
probable cause today does not mean that the charges have been dismissed. It just means that there has not been enough information provided to me today to make that finding. If you fail to appear for your court date on May 22nd, and that finding could be made, a warrant would issue
Bella's
for
in
your
jail.
arrest. As to your probation violation warrant, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May 15th at 8:30. That warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $450. If you're able to post bond, you cannot possess any weapons, and you must appear for your court date. Failing to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond.
Does he have
would
a
be imposed.
mullet in the back?
This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
So I'm not getting released with you, right?
You're not getting released because you have the bond for your probation violation matter. If you're able to post your bond, then you could be released.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he does have like a mini mullet, if you will. Hey, Lulu, thank you. Highly appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Hot Mess Express?
Ms. Campbell, if you'll please come to the podium, and
He looks like he
Andrea
got
Stapleton,
electrocuted
if
back
you'll please
there.
have a seat in the chair by the door. Hello, ma'am. Can you please tell me your first and last name?
Damn,
and
she
your
came
date
in
of
there
birth?
fast.
Michelle Baker Campbell, 8/14/1984.
You were here
84?
today because you have two probation violation warrants.
I'm from
I did
81.
appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You'll have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on May 15th at 8:30. Each of your warrants has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. Your total secured appearance bond is $200. If you are able to post bonds, you cannot possess any weapons, and you must appear for your court date. Failing to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrants would again issue for
Hey,
your
she
arrest,
has
and
no
additional
teeth.
bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your
Hey, she's
paperwork.
making me look good. I'm
Andrea
aging pretty
Stapleton,
good
will you
compared to
please come
that,
the
but I'm
podium?
pretty sure.
And Thomas Santa Cruz, if you'll please have a seat in the
I'm
chair
pretty
by the
sure
door.
she's been messing around. You know that I definitely kept that off of my my
Hey,
health
ma'am,
diet.
Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
My name is Andrea Stapleton, 51094.
Is that Little
You
Red
were
Riding
here
Hood?
today on a new case. You were charged with one count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of a narcotic drug, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You'll have a status conference hearing on May 22nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 27th at 8:30. I'm inclined to release you on your own recognizance today. That means I'll release you back into the community without bond. But you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
My,
You have
what
to
big
follow
charges
these
you have.
conditions, I'm highlighting that you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. Failing to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, and a bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Hey, Jennifer, that was a good one.
Mr. Santa Cruz, will you please come to the podium? And will you please have a
Damn,
seat in the chair
son,
by
where'd
the
you
door?
find this? I gotta do the sound effects because my my other soundboard's not working right now.
Hello, sir. Can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Thomas Stewart Santa Cruz.
Is that Joey Buttafuoco?
1984.
You, were
You
here
guys know
today
who
because
Joey
a direct
Buttafuoco
complaint
is?
was filed where you were charged with one count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony. The date of the alleged offense was May 22nd of 2025. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You have a status conference hearing on May 22nd at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing.
You know, no,
on
he
May
looks kind of like
27th at
Nicolas
8:30.
Cage, kind of.
I am inclined to release you to pretrial services today. That means you'll be released back into the community without bond, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Please be advised that you have the following release conditions. I'm highlighting that you cannot possess any weapons and you must contact pretrial services within 72 hours of your release.
If Nicolas Cage and Joey Buttafuoco had a child, that's what it would look like.
A warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed.
What up, Drea?
This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I did not.
Paul Bart and Rick and Ralph.
We'll give you your paperwork.
Thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, that's right. I went to Costco today to buy my wife some flowers. If you haven't bought your wife any flowers yet, go to Costco. They're $23 for a dozen roses.
On 512, and he has a bond already for both charges.
On the Tempe matter?
One of them is 1,700 and the one 500.
But I would, for this matter, I mean, my order's
I just
gonna,
wanted to make sure.
yeah, my order's gonna remain.
Bret Hart got arrested?
I want to make sure because
Bret
we're
Hart.
still gonna go like process.
So what they're talking about right now is that even
Rosebud.
though I'm releasing you on this case, you have warrants in Tempe, so you're gonna be taken to Tempe to take care of those warrants as well.
Right. Wait, how do I have active warrants?
I don't know, that's just
I
what I
just
mean.
came from Tempe.
I'll tell you over here.
Anyway, thank you so much, Your Honor.
Hey, that guy, he's very polite, if you will.
Mr. Youngblood, will you please come to the podium?
And he's the only one that told her Happy Mother's Day. I mean, it's a little bit early. It's not till tomorrow, but hey, you know, definitely.
Hello, sir, can you please tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Larry Youngblood, 10/29/84.
What up,
You were
Jay?
here today on a new case. You were charged with one count of attempted disorderly conduct involving fighting, a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as
No
to
face.
the charge. Due to the nature of the charge, not entitled to court-appointed counsel today. You do have an arraignment hearing on May 26th at 2 p.m.
You're right,
I
Mel.
am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. That means you'll be released back into the community without bond. You do
What up,
have
Tommy?
to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the
Jenna,
following-
thank you for the
May
follow.
26th?
Yes.
Sorry.
You have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim. You will be permitted one civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. You cannot possess any weapons. If there's any orders of protection or injunctions against harassment that are issued, you must comply with the terms of those orders. You are also cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment. Failing to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. Looks like you might have a question.
No, Your Honor.
No, okay. If you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Melissa Erickson, date of birth August 2nd, 1983,
This is it?
is here on a new case. She is not physically present in court due to the inability to function. She was charged with one count of aggravated assault on a first responder, a class 6 felony. Okay, this one has to be fixed too. It doesn't show that I appointed an attorney.
Hey,
for
do you
her.
guys want to see some parole board hearings from Friday? I got some. I'm not sure what attempted disorderly conduct means. Yeah, I'm as confused
I
as
did
you are.
find probable
What up,
cause
Jennifer?
as to the charge. I did
Ricky.
appoint counsel
All
to
right.
represent her. She will have a status conference hearing on May 22nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on May 27th at 8:30. She will be released to pretrial services. She
Jen,
has the
thank
following
you.
Release conditions. She must contact pretrial services within 72 hours of her release. She cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, and she cannot possess any weapons. Failing to comply with these release conditions or failing to appear for court dates would result in a warrant issuing for her arrest, and a bond would be imposed. I will meet with Ms. Erickson. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. This concludes the 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar. We stand in recess until 11 p.m.
Now let's see. Let's put on a filter on YouTube and on TikTok. Hey, I'm not yet. Hey. I want to be in his lines. Hold on, can you put on the filter on that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a shot a minute.
Okay. All right, so for those of you guys that are regulars, you guys are gonna notice that they recently made some changes to the way they run these streams in Connecticut and whatnot. So the layout's gonna be a little different now. Now you can actually see the board members on the screen. I will send your daughter a gift. Tell her to watch. Is this? Yeah, it is. G, it is. Hey, what's up, Brian? So it should be starting up any moment now. Oh, sorry, and this one's not available right now. It's not available on my channel. I recorded it, but it's not available. If this makes any sense. This is from the 7. So what was it? Thursday? I gotta fix the screen up so you guys could see the individual better right now. Do you guys want to see the board members and the individual, or just the individual? You guys tell me. Okay. All right, I'll fix it up right now. I used to like the other way they used to do it before, but now they started this last week on Monday. So, hey, you're welcome, sober. I'm gonna forward it up a little bit. Shit, I didn't record the sound on this one. Let me switch it up.
My level 3.
Now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You were on probation when you committed these new offenses, and I have that you were on probation for a minuscule amount of time. Just what, 18 days or so?
What?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me what was going on when you were released, got on probation, and then started this reckless behavior all over again?
I feel like me still being in the mindset I was in had like a big impact on it, because when I got released, I didn't get released on like, oh, I'm about to do better. I was basically getting released knowing I was going to come back to jail. That was my mindset.
Why was that? Why do you think that?
I didn't really know about change. I didn't during this incarceration, I had a lot of people that been in and out the system or doing 25 to life really talk to me about change, how to better myself. My first incarceration, it didn't really go as like that. Like, I went to Manson Youth Institution around like similar kids like me, majority of the time.
Well, when you were at Manson Youth, I understand that, you're with a lot of the other individuals who are about your age, all kind of, still behaving in that kind of a nonsense, reckless way, still thinking you know more than everybody else, basically. But, I mean, you must have gone to school, you must have done something. And I'm interested to know why going to jail didn't have an impact on you. Why were you so prepared to just go back?
Because some people look forward to go to jail. That's what it is.
I took it as a game. I didn't really look at it as like my life being wasted. I really looked at it like,
for real though, thank you.
It was just a game, basically.
Right. And so you are released, you're out in the community, and then you pick up, you're on probation. Did you meet with your probation officer?
Yes.
All right. And did they have some expectations that you think you were unable to meet?
I really wasn't unable to meet them. Like, they put me in a program, I was completing it. It was really just me picking up new charges.
And those were the domestics with your then girlfriend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what else did you get arrested for?
Violation of protective order, I think.
Stalker.
Larceny, fifth, and another firearm.
Damn. Trifecta right there. Definitely a winner.
Or larceny
Robberies.
second. It was either one of those.
If larceny second.
Anybody interested?
Breach of peace and assault third. I'm sorry.
Okay. So when you got out, you didn't think about looking for a job or seeing how you could make some adjustments to your behavior?
I had gotten 2 jobs. This was in North Haven and Jimmy's in West Haven. It was just, I got a new charge and it just messed up the whole routine.
Hey, more red flags than a Chinese parade, if you will.
The charges you were on probation for that carjacking.
What?
I would, it's problematic that going to jail for that and understanding the harm that that type of criminal behavior creates, the fear. I mean, that woman tried to get back in her car.
That's scary.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I really
And
wasn't.
you stole somebody's purse in the parking lot.
Purse
and it
snatcher.
looks like there were multiple incidents of robberies, but you only were charged with the one.
Yes, because I wasn't really there to really see what had happened, but I was on camera using credit cards.
How are you gonna personate somebody and then go use their credit card? That makes no
I'm
sense.
looking at your time while you've served this sentence, and you have a lot of disciplinary reports. So why do you think it's so difficult for you to control your behavior?
I really don't have an excuse for it. Like I said, I take fully responsibility for all my actions, but I've been a level 3 and a level 4 jail for 6 months. It's like a lot of privileges I'm supposed to get, I'm not getting, and like see correctional officers is more strict here. So, but like it's still not an excuse. I understand, but at the end of the day, like it's jail. It's certain stuff that they don't like, and it's certain stuff that sometimes COs get pissed off and stuff like that.
Okay, well, Mr. McKenzie, I'm going to stop you for a quick second because I'm looking at fighting, assault, interfering, contraband. I think it's a little bit more than the COs being annoyed.
Yeah, it is. That's why I said it's not really an excuse that I could make. Like, I'm still changing. I'm still trying to become better.
Okay. All right. So why do you think you have such a problem with your anger and controlling your anger?
Because he likes to hurt people?
I would say me growing up, how I grew up is really an impact. But like I said, like change doesn't happen overnight. I can't just wake up one day and be like, what I went through and what I've been through is gonna change my way I think and stuff like that. Like I could just sit here and try to make it better for myself. Like, okay, I caught a disciplinary report. Let me try to maintain my level 3.
Do you think what do you think you need to manage your anger and your behavior? What do you think will be helpful for you?
It's really up to me. I don't really think it's really up to me for real.
It doesn't sound like he's ready to me.
Right. Okay. It's up to you. But sometimes people need some assistance in terms of skills or strategies. Have you thought about how you can control your anger so you don't end up in a fight or have an assault charge or get into an argument with the correctional officer?
Usually I walk away. It's just some incidents in here is like really hard to walk away from. I feel like one thing that could help me is like talking to my family, or
he should talk to the guy that had the coping cards a few months back or last year. Who remember the guys with the coping cards?
Why were you having so many difficulties with your girlfriend? Why?
That was a little minute ago. We had an issue where she had went through my phone and I had grabbed it.
What up,
and that's how I got like the assault third and breach of peace.
And he's a cheater. Oh,
but
my wife would be upset.
Have issues like that. I'm still talking to her as we speak.
McDonald's French fries and apple pie.
How do you think you can? What's a better way to handle those issues? She grabs your phone. You know, you're young people. Everything revolves around that phone. So how do you see yourself handling that in the future?
I feel like next time, realistically, don't cheat on your female. I would just like walk away because I know I'm on probation and stuff like that. So it's really best to walk away and like call 911 if it gets to
911. If we ain't calling 911.
Domestic violence program. What did you learn about relationships and getting along and communication?
Adventures in Magic. Thank you.
That a domestic violence doesn't have to be with your girlfriend. It could be with your mom, your brother, your sister,
your boyfriend.
It's not only impacting her or anybody else. It could be victimless. Like you could catch a domestic violence in a public place and like 5 people that seen it, they could like, it could impact their way of seeing stuff. because people don't see every day, somebody snatching somebody else's phone. That's aggressive.
Hey, Amber, 911, what's your emergency? Oh, I'm cheating on my girlfriend and she wants to go through my phone.
So you talked a lot about, you know, how you grew up and the trauma, and it's hard to kind of get by that. How do you see things for yourself in the future?
Hey, Adventures, have a good one.
I feel like I see a lot right now. When I first came in, like, I look at this incarceration as a blessing, not just me getting caught, because it really changed my whole perspective on everything. Like I said, I'm in a level 4. I seen people that had 60 years to life. I don't want my future to be like that. I know if I keep getting caught with firearms or still being the path I am now, that is nothing that's gonna come with it but death or in jail. And I do not want that for my future. I'd rather go home, get a job, enroll in community college. Like you said, I'm in my early 20s. So a lot of people that been on my path haven't seen 23, and I'm blessed to see it.
You know, it's easy to say when you're behind bars, but what the real test is when you come home.
You know, you are lucky to still be able to be in the community, talk to your family, be with your girlfriend, because the charges that you're before us on, the violation of probations and the underlying charges that go with that, the larcenies, the robberies, stealing into people's purses in the parking lots, carjacking. I mean, they don't get much more violent than that. You don't have much further to go. Now, and then you have firearm. You know, you're 20 years old and you're carrying a firearm. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for spending the rest of your life incarcerated.
I don't really like what I had did. I don't like it at all. But one thing I can say that me being incarcerated now, it had changed of how I looked at certain stuff now. Like when you're explaining like my past charges, in my head I'm like, that's crazy. But when I was doing it, it wasn't that crazy to me. It was just like, I'm just.
Why do you think it wasn't that crazy when you were doing it? That's what I'm thinking. You know,
Hey, I don't know what world it's okay to snatch somebody's purse.
Now I have a thought. I'm just sitting here like literally shaking like, dang, I'm carjacking, purse snatching, breach of peace, larceny fifth. This is all about to be on my record.
He's definitely ready for GTA 6 though. With all of that carjacking and purse snatching.
Released. I know that for a fact, but I'm ready for it.
Right, Amber?
I'd rather work hard on my future than being in here for the rest of my life.
Well, that's exactly what we want to hear. We want to hear that you're ready to work hard in the community and change things. Because for us too, we have to look at how you're changing while you're serving this sentence. And all the disciplinary reports that you've acquired or accrued throughout this sentence doesn't say to us, he's trying to change how he's thinking. He's trying to change his behavior. So that's a problem for us. That's a struggle. Because that is one of the elements we look to see the change. What do you think is your biggest change? How do you think you've changed the most?
My biggest change probably is how I look at things. Like me getting that disciplinary report, if I would have got it 2 years before this, I'd have been like, man, and excuse my language, screw parole, screw anything. I don't care no more. I might as well catch 4 other DR tickets. But I told myself that, all right, after every DR ticket, I sat in segregation for 5 days, thought about it, how I'm not going to fight no more, how I'm not going to catch an interfering with safety and security, how I'm not going to catch an assault ticket. Even though I still got it, it's about like how you bounce back from it.
We're currently conducting job interviews for Amazon, Walmart, and Target.
So how have you bounced back from these tickets? What's your positive that you're making? Because you just got a ticket in April.
Mhm.
So we're only a couple of days into May. That's less than a month ago.
Yeah. Another thing I was looking at is that me having parole, I was telling everybody about it.
Deidre.
That's where I messed up. I know a lot of people get jealous or they're not going home in 3 years. You got people that's doing 15 years and would sit here and be like, man, I'm gonna fight you to mess up your parole. And me being myself, I should know that and walk away. But sometimes you have to defend for yourself in here too.
You're gonna defend your ego. Can't forget
It's not
about the
just
ego.
like
A bruised
you
ego
gonna walk away. It's
no
so
bueno.
much I could do where I could go in my cell. Somebody could follow me to my cell. It's not like I'm in a community where I could go down the street
Nat,
and
thank
turn
you.
the corner and be in the next town.
What up, Karina?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But we also, you know, that we also see a lot of people who come before us your age with little to no disciplinary court. So there is an avenue to try and avoid the nonsense, the chaos. Yeah. Okay, Mr. McKenzie, thank you. I have nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Palmieri. So, Mr. McKenzie, I listened carefully to your discussion
More tickets
with
than
Ms. Palmieri,
Ticketmaster.
and initially I said I wasn't going to ask you any questions, but I look at you and I know that you are young enough to be my own son. And so I'm going to ask you,
John, thank you. Brittany, thank you.
what is it
Silent,
that
thank
you
you.
want to do with the remainder of your life? Like, what do you aspire to be when you grow up?
I originally wanted to be a firefighter, but now
A firefighter?
How my life is looking, I wanted to jump into like a community college or get in a trade. So
So what kind of trade? So in a perfect world, if you didn't have this criminal record and you weren't in prison,
Derek, thank you.
what would you want to be?
A brain surgeon?
Please don't say, what would you want to be?
Astronaut? The president of the United States? A doctor? A nurse?
What kind of doctor?
Brain surgeon.
Probably a surgical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think has stopped you from being able to pursue that education to become that doctor?
Really myself.
Money.
I can't really put blame on nobody. Like I could sit here and tell y'all my mom didn't raise me right or the friends I'm around, but in reality, like I forgot her name. Like
Miss Palmieri.
Miss Palmieri was just saying, you can't really sit here and say that you couldn't get no tickets because other people went different avenues. So I can't really sit here and be like, my mom didn't raise me right or the environment I grew up in, because it's a lot of people that grew up in my environments that took different avenues.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
you know what the difference is? Because, I mean, I think that a lot of people, including us, I mean, I know we're sitting here reviewing your file, but we've all been faced with some adversity in our lives. And it really boils down to the decisions that you made. And do you ever stop and think about what's going to happen if I do this?
Now I do, yeah.
A lot of people don't have impulse control. They think about
honestly,
something. They don't even think about it. They just react.
A person of your age, we really do give great weight to the fact that
Charissa.
you are extremely young and that your brain isn't fully developed. But when you, like my colleague said, when you look at the nature of your charges, it's very difficult for us to say that Mr. McKenzie is appropriate to be re-released when you've shown or you've demonstrated no evidence of change. Like, I'm happy that we're having this discussion because it really sounds as if you want to change. Now it's about, you ever heard the saying, don't talk about it, be about it, or something like that? Yeah, it's up to you. Like, it's not too late for you to pursue that career. I don't see that you have a lot of community support out there. I know you talked about your girlfriend, but your sister was the only other person that you listed. Who else do you have out in the community?
Really my mom and like my family, but I really didn't put them up there because I feel like the friends I had or like the family that I have is not really a good support system with the life I'm trying to make. I'm not going back to that same path where I'm keeping a gun on me every day or I'm committing crimes, and I don't want nobody to sit here and just like put stuff in my head while I'm trying to be on the right path. So that's the only reason why I have my girlfriend and my sister on my support system, because I really just like cut a lot of people off.
Well, you have to do that sometimes. But you also, I'm going to leave you with this nugget, and then I'm going to allow Ms. Chance to ask you her questions. But I'm going to say to you, just because your life hasn't been ideal, you may have faced some childhood trauma, there's some dysfunctional family dynamics, all of that stuff. Don't allow that stuff to dictate the trajectory. And I know I'm using words that do you understand what I'm saying so far?
Yes,
she just called them a dummy.
Don't allow that stuff to determine your future, because you can overcome all of that, even this record. If you put it in your mind that this is what I'm going to do and stick to that, don't let anyone deter you from that positive life. You can do it. You're 23. You have your entire life to turn this thing around, but you have to want it. We can't give it to you. You have to want to do it. You have to want it. If being a physician is what you aspire to be, it's not too late to do it. You sound very intelligent. You have your high school diploma. If other people are telling you that you can't do it, I could name several people who were told they were too dumb. They sound like a man, and these people still, Tyler Perry. I mean, there are so many people who have had to overcome adversity, sir, and you're not the only one. So it's possible. I'm hoping that you're hearing what I'm saying to you and what Ms. Palmieri had to say to you, because we don't want you in it. We don't need the business. There's plenty of people in there serving life sentences for serious crimes. And if you continue down this path, you're going to be one of them. And that's not what we aspire for you. That's not what we want for you. We want you to be successful. Okay? All right. Miss Chance, sorry.
Hello, Mr. McKenzie.
Oh, the creep keeper.
Why do you have difficulty following orders or following what anyone says to you?
I wouldn't say I have difficulty following orders. I just feel like sometimes I get caught like in a bump. Like sometimes I hit a bump of a road, but I get back on track every time.
But it's always after the fact. And I listened to my colleague, Ms. Smith-Palmieri, the questions that she asked you. And you also indicated that some incidents are hard to walk away from.
Yes.
So what happens going forward if someone said something to you that you don't like?
Hey, thank you for that, Danny Hart.
Away. I know it's easier said than done, but I will walk away.
You know, I look at your DRs and I'm hearing all the questions that were asked. And
Tony,
I think it was Ms. Smith-Palmieri who alluded to your last one for interfering with safety and security. And that was a correctional officer asking you to do something that you didn't do.
That's right, Jennifer.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's concerning to me that you were on probation before. You didn't really connect with your probation officer, who is the one that you would look to for guidance, because in your head, you were just going to go out and do whatever you want to do, and then you'll just get arrested and come back to jail.
I think they're gonna let him out.
So
What do you guys
were
think?
also asked what it is that you need to do to not commit any other offense. And you said, get a job. But
Yes,
getting a job, Mr. McKenzie, at age 23 is not sufficient. So I heard you say you want to go to community college to do a trade. But you've mentioned different things. You've mentioned social work. You've mentioned some other trade. You wanted to be a doctor.
Doctor,
And
a surgeon.
you're still young. They're not out of your reach. But you have to decide specifically what it is that you want to do and stick to it. If working at Panera or Amazon is what you can do while you're going to college and selecting a trade, that's what you do. But, you said social work. So social work, a doctor, and you mentioned some other trade. So all I'm saying to you,
I said welding, I'm sorry.
Welding. Right. So can you see where your thoughts are? They're kind of all over.
A man could dream,
Yeah,
can he?
I only have different options because it's always good to have a plan A, B, and C.
Absolutely.
Or A through Z, if you will.
So that's the only reason why I have a lot of options to look forward to.
Right. But, going to community college is a good idea.
More options than a buffet.
And whether you do social work or welding, if you do social work, you'll have to go on and do more. If you do welding, you get your certification and you can get a job. Welding pays very good. So while you're thinking of your different options, which is a great idea, you also have to figure what's the next step after that.
A forklift driver too. Can't forget about forklift driver.
Okay, and that might means when you go out on probation, that you're gonna follow the rules. And something else, you have to choose the people that you want to be around. Now, you mentioned your mom. Do you ever listen to any advice that your mom gives?
He was. That's why he did the carjacking and the purse snatching.
Yes, but it's we don't really have that son and mom relationship.
Is that something that you would like?
Yeah, of course. But right now, like I would put that on hold because, like I said, my mom is not in the right state of mind to have like that type of relationship with me. I wouldn't want her to be in the way of things, if you get what I'm trying to say.
What about your sister?
My sister is a good support system. She gives me advice all the time.
But do you ever listen to what she says?
Yeah, I do.
But if you did, guess what? You probably wouldn't be where you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So going forward, 11 DRs is not a good thing to have. You have to figure out how you can overcome that.
What up, Nicole?
You completed the DV and the voices, and you're a smart young man. I'm sure. Okay, tell me one thing you got from the voices.
One thing I could say that I got, and it had me thinking overnight. So when I had got caught with my firearm, I wasn't really looking at victims like I was just looking at me as a victim, my mom as a victim, like my loved ones as a victim. I wasn't looking at the community. So I got caught around 3 schools. I wasn't looking at how many moms had to tell their kids do not go on the bus because somebody had got caught with a firearm down the street, or how many moms were scared to walk their kids to school that day. So I would feel like Voices had taught me more on the victim part, how many victims it is, and that like you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody else.
And so that becomes a public safety issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Most certainly.
Yes. Now, you also did the domestic, and I know you had some problems with your girlfriend. So what was the takeaway from domestic violence that you think will help you to have a better relationship with your girlfriend?
I would feel like don't work thing. It's about communication. Like I feel like a relationship, before anything, communication is a big thing. I feel like I wasn't communicating with her, and that's the reason why we got into the situation we got into. But I just walk away. Sometimes a deep breath and a break is needed.
And, you know, anger management is on your OAP, so some of that must have been in there.
Yeah, it was Voices and domestic violence.
So hopefully, Mr. McKenzie, you're gonna, when you leave the hearing, you're gonna sit down and, you know, look at all your DRs, think of what you gained from the domestic violence and Voices, and going forward, look at your behavior and figure out what the best approach for you is. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So thank you for answering my questions today, and good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. So, Mr. McKenzie, give us a few minutes to talk about your case. We'll give you our decision shortly. You can listen, just don't interrupt, okay?
Okay.
What up, Britt?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Mr. McKenzie, as we said earlier, he's 23 years old. He's a young person. And we do consider his age when we're looking at what we have before us today. He's charged with some incredibly serious charges, and the underlying violation probations are also a continuation of that violent behavior. He was barely on probation at the time that he was arrested for the new charges. I think to Mr. McKenzie's credit, you know, I do hear somebody who wants a better life for himself. We hear somebody that can look to the future and see schooling, training. He's got some things in his mind that will help him be successful in the community. You know, I struggle with the 11 disciplinary reports, one being less than a month ago. I think that kind of counters some of this change and this good talk that we're hearing today.
It sounds like he really did get some insight, though, like even by saying certain people aren't positive supports and like try to change things. Like I heard a lot of positive things.
That's exactly right. And if he carry that into the community and separate himself from those that don't have his best interest in mind to those that do, like probation, parole, the reentry programs, his sister, you know, I think he can be a positive person in the community and be successful. I think for today, I do not have him voted to parole. It is, a lot of the disciplinary behaviors are tough to.
Yeah, they appear to be a continuation.
Yes. I do think, you know, he'd benefit from anger management. Be great if he took an addiction services program. We didn't talk about his daily.
What up, my boy?
Sure, that factors into the court. That's a court decision in itself. So there are some other programs, maybe start his education process. But for today, you know, he does score very high for risk recidivate. I do think he benefited from Voices. I do think he benefited from domestic violence.
They said no.
I would like to see him go out in the community with a little bit more tools for himself. So for today, I do not have him voted to discretionary parole.
Fair. I agree. Mr. McKenzie, it absolutely sounds like he has, he's taking, one, I love the fact that he's accepting responsibility for his actions. He's not trying to minimize anything that he's done. He looks at what he's done from an outside, and says, I can't believe.
No,
that
I
this
didn't
is
watch
me.
it. I need to watch it.
So it really does sound like he's on the cusp of changing. And
I
he
just
really does
noticed you
want
have
it, but
CO20s
he
on.
hasn't demonstrated enough evidence of change for me to support full either.
Not
So
any
I'm a
sweet
denial
20s.
as well. Ms. Chance?
I agree with both of you.
Okay, so let's talk about our reasons.
Not 100%,
Location,
but I'm getting there.
For institutional adjustment. And I had current offense committed on probation. He was on probation. Yes.
For 18 days, yeah.
Yeah, and then I inadequate evidence of offender change. I think we do hear some change, so I don't want to use that.
I think the 3 that you did are fine because he knows. I think he's halfway there. And so I would just do the probation and for institution of the nature.
So we're ready with our official decision with regard to Rainford McKenzie, 442059. I move to deny discretionary parole based on your poor institutional adjustment, the nature of your offense, and also your offense being committed while on probation. You will not receive a new hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, Mr. McKenzie, you'll receive all of this in writing. We couldn't support you today. You've heard our concerns. We do have a good amount of faith that you can go out there and do the right things, and we hope that you do. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
This concludes the criminal hearing for Mr. Rainford P. McKenzie Jr., 442059.
I started working last month, like the first week of April. I started working, so I've been working for over a month now at this point. That's why I really haven't been getting on, just because I'm playing catch up right now. But hey,
Bolano.
Oh,
if you guys want to,
Mr. Bolano, could you ask the officer to come in for a moment?
if you guys want to continue watching, I'm gonna get off. If you guys are watching on TikTok, I welcome you guys to come over to the other platform. I'm gonna leave the stream up running for those of you that do want to continue watching it. I'm not sure if I'll be back for the 11 o'clock Maricopa hearing, but if I do, then I'll be here and you guys will get the notification. My wife just got home. It's Mother's Day, so I want to go ahead and spend it with her. But I do appreciate you guys. All right. Hey, I am Collect Call James. You guys are watching. You have a collect call from. And like I say around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it slices out. And with that, I'm out. And the other platform I'm talking about is YT at Collect Call From. All right. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, we're ready. Thank you.
And Mr. Bolano, you can hear me, correct?
Yes,
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience.
thank you.
Good morning. My name is Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is Thursday, the 7th of May, 2026. This is a hearing of the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles. The following board members are present this morning and by stating their names on the record, do certify that they have reviewed all statutorily required documents and available pertinent information in preparation of this hearing.
Good morning. I'm Panel Member Barry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Thank you, board members. Sir, please state your name and inmate number for the record.
431571,
What's your name, sir?
Anthony Villano.
Thank you, Mr. Villano. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Mr. Anthony Villano, inmate number 431571. And he is serving a total effective sentence of 8 years execution suspended after 4 years concurrent, followed by 5 years probation for the charges of larceny, first degree, defraud on public company greater than $2,000, criminal violation of protection order, 3 counts larceny, first degree, and lastly, an attempt to commit larceny, first degree charge. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility of September 2nd, 2026, and this is at 50% eligibility. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender, which has been reviewed and shows that the offender has not successfully participated in any of his OAP recommended programming. He remains on the Department of Correctional waiting list for USD #1 education referral, 5 or 7 day job assignment, and vocational need to be assessed by USD #1. And lastly, voices. This is according to the RT3 inquiry I ran for his case. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the SRT falls within the moderate range of risk for recidivism. All right, Mr. Villano, this is now your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
First of all, I'd like to apologize to the parole board, to my victims in the courts, also to my family. I think I've changed since I've been here, and I'm not getting any younger. And I know, if you grant me this parole, I need to get a job and try to pay back restitution and move on with my life. I'd like to start with a fresh head.
Okay, Mr. Villano, is that all that you would like to share with the panel today?
I've already done a few things.
Okay.
Like I said, I'd like to ask for forgiveness. I learned my lesson to make sure it won't happen again. Again, I also apologize to my victims. And I thank you for this opportunity to prove myself to you and to my victims. I had to move forward by getting a job to make restitution to my victims. Also, I have 500 hours of community service to do if I'm released. I'm in a much better place right now than I was before. I guess with my drinking and the prescription drugs, which I've been sober for the past 6 years right now. Once I get out, I'd like to get my license back, my Social Security, disability back. Also get a bank account. That's about it.
Well, thank you so much for writing down some thoughts so that you can share them with the board. We appreciate your apology and your expression of remorse. We also appreciate your desire to pay back restitution. Can you share with us how much restitution you owe?
I believe at this point, I really don't know.
Okay.
I think it was only for the U-Haul truck.
All right. So what's going to happen here, Mr. Villano, is each of us will take turns asking you questions. When we're done with our questions, we will deliberate and then give you our decision.
All right,
okay?
Thank you.
So I'm going to start with the questions. So tell me why you were committing these crimes, Mr. Villano.
These crimes were mostly civil crimes until they turned criminal. I was going to get along with my partners. Until 2010, I didn't even have a parking ticket in my name. I was a social member of society. I never worked for anybody in my life. I always had my own businesses.
So, Mr. Villano, I'm going to stop you because I appreciate your explanation of your history. So we're not here because you're serving time on a civil matter. We're here because your charges are criminal and you've been convicted of several larcenies. So I'm going to go back to my original question, which was, why were you committing these crimes?
Right, because of my alcohol and my prescription drugs.
Okay, but you just said in your opening statement that you've been clean and sober for 6 years.
Yeah, but these crimes happened about 4 or 5 years ago.
Still, the math doesn't match that. Then you haven't been clean for 6 years.
Yes.
So why are you saying that that's how long you've been clean when that's not true?
I've been clean for 6 years, man.
What 6 years, sir?
I've been clean. No alcohol.
Since you've been in, I understand, but while you've been in the prison, is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Since you have been in prison, you haven't been using drugs or alcohol? Is that where the sobriety is coming in?
Yes,
Okay. So you were committing these crimes because you were using drugs and alcohol.
yes.
So why haven't you participated in an addiction services program to address that?
I figure because with 6 years right now.
It's not 6 years, sir. It has not been 6 years. The last crime that you committed was in 2023, according to my records. So if my math is mathing, that means 3 years, because it's 2026 and it won't be 3 years until September. So you haven't been clean and sober for 6 years. Can you tell us why you were abusing alcohol and drugs?
There's a lot of pressure in my businesses.
And so have you learned or gained any tools to help you deal with the stress of your business?
Right now, I don't have any. So all the stress is gone.
But you do understand that having stress is a part of life. We all experience that, right?
Yes.
So how do you intend to handle that, Mr. Villano?
Well, right now, by getting a job and getting back to my Social Security.
So you don't think that having a job will be stressful?
Yes, I will be.
And how will you manage that? Before you said you were using drugs and alcohol to cope. So my question is, how are you going to cope with stress when you're back out in the community?
Well, like I said, I've been sober for 6 years, so.
Okay. So, Mr. Villano, I'm going to just run down what I have here for you. It looks like you were taking cars, renting them, and not returning them, going to a hotel where you were staying and they didn't want you to be there anymore, and you went back anyway and wouldn't leave. In terms of risk to recidivate, you score out moderately, which is right in between, right in the middle, basically. So there's a chance that you will go on to commit further crimes, and there's a chance that you may not. But so you're right in the middle, and you received one disciplinary infraction for interfering with the safety and security there in the prison. You have not completed any of the programs on your offender accountability plan. And I think that there is some minimization in your description of what transpired with all these crimes, your drinking and your drugs addiction. And I don't know if it is that you can't really recognize the harm that you've caused, although you are you've apologized for the harm. I don't hear any substantive insight as to how you can avoid these behaviors in the future. And getting a job is not the answer. There's other things that need to be addressed. So I'm really ambivalent, really, about your being released back into the community when you really have not provided me with any information that to support evidence of change. So I really don't know where to go from here. Is there anything else would you like to respond to my concerns?
Like I said, if you release me, you will not regret it. I'd learned my lesson right now. I'm going to be a better citizen. I'm going to be a better citizen. Okay. And reconnect with my family and my friends.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Chance?
Mr. Villano, thank you, Madam Chair. Were you employed when you were arrested?
Was it what?
Were you employed?
Yes.
What kind of job were you doing?
A restaurant. I own my own restaurant.
Okay, so during your interview with the parole officer, you did tell her that you were employed as the owner of your restaurant in Orange.
Yes,
But in reviewing, an official document that was provided to us, it indicated that you were unemployed for the past 5 years, that you were employed under the table for a number of years, managing your family's restaurant as the chef and pizza man. Is that what was happening?
correct.
Okay. So, some of what you said, you were either minimizing or you weren't truthful. You also later on informed the parole officer that you were collecting SSI. So you were collecting SSI and working under the table for your family business, and I'm assuming getting paid under the table.
Correct.
Right. And my colleague asked you about your substance abuse, and you said that you were clean for 6 years. But in reading the official document, your longest clean time is your current incarceration.
That's not true.
So you're going to maintain that you've been clean for, what, 5 to 6 years?
6 years, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, for me, Mr. Villano, the math doesn't add up. And I'm looking at your offender accountability plan, which are the programs that you're supposed to participate in as part of your incarceration, and you haven't completed any of them.
I don't know how to do anything.
Right, and your drug and alcohol score says a 1, which I find concerning. So you, throughout the what I've read in the official documents, you have had a long history of alcohol and abuse of your pills. And so it's concerning for me, and the fact that you're minimizing the crimes that you are currently serving time for. So for me, Mr. Villano, I do think that you need to address some of your criminogenic needs, which is, you have to complete programs that are on your OAP.
What do you mean, John?
The programs listed on your offender accountability plan.
I've never got one of those.
You did? Okay, give me a second and I'll see if there's one.
I mean, if you didn't receive one, ask your counselor for it.
All right.
In the attachments, on the 29th of October.
Right, I just saw it. Yeah. So you signed one last October.
There's a disconnect here somewhere. I think I just can't make the. Yes.
Sorry.
Nope, it's fine. Thank you.
No, but I have it here. 10/29/2025. That's when you signed it, which was last off. Okay? Do you remember signing it?
Not really. I signed a lot of things.
Well, the one I'm looking at.
Right. Yeah. Because he.
So, Mr. Villano, I appreciate you sharing your comments with me today. Okay? I wish you the best. I'm all set.
Thank you. Ms. Chance, Ms. Palmieri?
Thank you. So, Mr. Villano, are you participating in mental health services
I am.
while you're incarcerated?
I am. Yes.
And are you finding that helpful?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a plan to continue those services when you're home?
Yes.
Do you have a place in mind?
Right now, a halfway house.
Okay. But how about for mental health treatment?
Yes, I'm gonna go to my regular doctor first.
Okay. Okay. And the parole officer was not able to reach your son. Have you talked to him recently?
Yes,
Okay. When's the last time you spoke to him?
about 3 days ago.
About 3 days ago. Okay. Did you talk to him about living with him?
Yes,
All right. All right. And you were on Social Security disability before you were arrested, right?
correct.
Okay. Okay. And who else other than your son helps you when you're in the community, when you're home?
My daughter and my wife.
Okay. I read that you were not living with your wife when you were arrested. Were you separated?
Yes,
Do you talk to her still or see her?
I still talk to her, yes, every day almost.
All right. All right. Because you were living at the Hilton Garden. Is that was one of the places you were arrested? Is that where
Yes.
you were living? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Villano.
Thank you, Ms. Palmieri. So, Mr. Villano, give us a few minutes to just talk about your case and we'll give you our decision, okay? Please don't interrupt. You can listen now. So, for me today, I do not find Mr. Villano suitable for discretionary parole. He has not completed any programs to address his criminogenic needs. While I'm happy that he's receiving the mental health services and they are working in his favor while he's there in the facility, I really still do believe that he needs additional tools to go back out in the community and be successful. You know, I think there's an absolute disconnect between what Mr. Villano believes transpired and what actually has happened or is happening. He says that he was committing these crimes because he was using drugs and alcohol, and but yet he says he was clean and sober for 6 years. So there is a disconnect with the information that we have, and he's done with parole. My number saying next year, early of next year or mid next year. I think that he needs to remain in the facility and participate in additional programs so that when he is back out in the community, he has a better chance of actually being able to complete the remainder of his sentence successfully. So my vote today will be to deny Mr. Villano's discretionary parole based on inadequate evidence of offender change and his inadequate program participation. Ms. Chance.
I agree with everything you said.
Ms. Palmieri.
I actually would have voted Mr. Villano to parole today. His highest score is in mental health, and that is being addressed. So that seems to be some of the underlying issues. Reading through the evaluation, it brings to light some of what we're seeing today. He does have the ability to collect Social Security, although the parole officer has not contacted his son. There does seem to be some support in the community. He's got the one prior conviction in 2024, which he had an unconditional discharge. This is his first period of incarceration. He, as you said, does take some responsibility. I think in terms of his OAP, I don't disagree, he should have addiction services based on what we're hearing today and what we've read. Unfortunately, it's not on his OAP for right now. Voices is his parole eligibility date is September, so I do believe that he could probably complete the Voices program if he has the. I have September.
I have June of last year.
For what?
For his eligibility date.
His eligibility, I said it's September 2nd, 2026.
Okay, September 2nd. I didn't write that down, sorry.
So I do think that there's the opportunity to complete Voices if he actually, he's got some medical issues. Also, I think that has, that had taken time facility, which I would guess, I'll just make a guess, it probably also prevented him from maybe participating in at least the Voices program at the Ernest. So for me today, I do find Mr. Bolano suitable for discretionary parole.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Palmieri. So, I don't know where I got that date from, which is concerning. Is that what it says in case notes?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It said June 2025.
Yes. Okay. All right. So maybe that was on something else, but okay. I will duly note your position in the written decision. So with regard to Anthony Villano, 431-571, I move to deny discretionary parole today based on your inadequate program application and inadequate evidence of offender change, and you will have no new hearing fee. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. So the record will reflect that Ms. Palmieri is in favor of your receiving or you're going out early onto discretionary parole. Mr. Villano, you sound like you have a lot of work to do on yourself, and it sounds like the services that you're receiving there in the facility are helping you. I would try to take a little deeper dive by communicating with your counselor so that you can get some of the help that you need, so that when you are returned to the community, you have the proper tools to handle life. Okay? We wish you the best, sir. You're all set.
Thank you.
For Mr. Anthony Villano, number 431-571.
Sorry, Officer Vasquez, I was listening, but apparently not listening when we gave the parole date. I don't know why is it so different? The date that's in case notes and the date that's in the RT screens. I don't understand. It's way off.
Who is that, Mr.
Maldonado?
Oh, I forgot.
What is your name, sir?
Demetrius Soto.
Okay. So, okay, we'll be right with you, sir.
I was gonna say, they didn't look like.
And we're gonna need the interpreter.
Yeah, she's here too.
Okay.
Mr.
Is everything
Soto.
okay? Hi, how are you?
Mr. Soto.
I had to see from out.
Oh.
Where's It's for the next offender. You do know that.
Oh, he cut his hair off.
Yeah.
That's why they recognized him.
Reach.
Yep. Good morning, Mr. Soto. My records indicate that you have some hearing issues. Is that right?
Yes, but you're loud and clear off the speaker.
You can, okay. So you don't, Ms. Benedict?
I'm sorry, who?
Yes. We
I'm sorry, I'm talking.
we do have
Go
the
ahead.
option to turn closed captioning on if that would help him.
Would the closed caption help you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Soto, can you just ask the officer to come back in for a moment?
Okay. Hey, I need an officer over here.
Closed captioning so that he can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Officer, I'm just gonna need your assistance on the tablet. We're gonna turn on the closed captioning, since he's hard of hearing.
Okay,
If you look on the tablet, there are the 3 dots.
yeah,
You press that and then go to captions,
okay,
and there should be a little toggle to show captions. And they'll appear on the TV when it's turned on.
yeah, it's on.
Perfect, thank you.
All right.
So there is just a brief delay for the AI to generate the captions. That's why I have them turned on so you can see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Officer Saunders. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. And this is a hearing of the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles. The following board members are present this morning, and by stating their names on the record, certify they have received all statutory required documents and available pertinent information and preparation of this hearing.
Good morning, I'm panel member Barry.
Good morning, George Chance.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Please state your name and inmate number for the record.
My name is Demetrius Soto. My inmate number is 438650.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Demetrius Soto, inmate number 438650. He is serving a total effective sentence of 15 years jail, execution suspended after 8 years jail, followed by 10 years probation for third intercourse with kindred and illegal sexual contact with victim under the age of 13. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of September 11, 2025. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan. It has been reviewed and shows that the offender has completed voices. In addition, Mr. Soto also reports that he's completed social skills, meditation therapy, a sex offender group, and reports that he's currently employed as a chairman. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the RT falls within the low range of risk for recidivism. Utilizing the static 99R, the offender's overall score for sexual offense recidivism falls within the low to moderate range. Mr. Soto, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
All right. I would like to formally apologize to the victim. This should have never happened in the first place. I take full accountability for my actions. I wish I can go back and prevent this from happening. I understand that I may never see her again unless she chooses to talk to me when she's older. I understand that I have no say in this matter. I feel like I'm ready to be a part of society. I've completed group therapy on the inside, groups that I've done, social skills, meditation, CBT, DBT, and other group therapies with social workers on the unit. I'm working on myself inside, and I can do that as well on the outside. I would also like to point out that I am responsible for reporting this crime. That shows that I know right from wrong. The first part of recovery is admitting that you made a mistake. The second is doing the time. I'm ready to take on the third step to be a functional person in the community. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thank you very much for that statement. And we did see that you reported the crime, and we do appreciate your acceptance of responsibility and your remorse for your offenses. So what is going to happen here is each of us will take turns asking you questions. When we're done with our questions, we will deliberate and then give you our decision. Okay? All right, Ms. Gantz will start with questions.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Mr. Soto. I certainly appreciate you indicating that you accepted responsibility for what happened. And that's exactly what I read in the official documents. So thank you for that. So in your opening statement, you've indicated that you've completed the voices and the sex offender. You also have a job assignment as a chairman.
Yes.
Correct? So can you tell us what insights you gained or what you learned from the Voices program first, and then the sex offender program?
Okay. I've learned in the Voices program that the victim is not only affected, there's multiple people affected by my actions. So not only the victim, the family, people that I know, they're affected by this. And it's just, there's a lot of variables that go into committing a crime. And in the sex offender group, I learned how to not really, I don't know how to say this, to not really want to do that anymore.
So I know at the time when the offense was committed, you said that you felt alone. So during the program, were you able to address why you felt alone and what you can do going forward?
Ms. Chance, can you just, before you answer that question, Mr. Soto, I just want to ask the officer, because I don't see anywhere in the RT screens that he completed.
That is correct. He reported that he completed the program while at NYI.
NYI.
And so would we have access to the NYI?
It's not uploaded into our system, so there's no record of it going off his report at this time.
So is there any way to obtain that information from NYI?
You can reach out to the records to see if there is something in the There was nothing in his file that I looked in the file, but I can see if there's something through NYI that we could.
Is that customary though for them not to put this stuff? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. I understand because I did not have it.
Who was it? Who was your counselor, Mr. Soto? Who taught that class?
It was, I forgot his name, but it was the guy that was there. He specializes in sex offenders in NY.
Would you mind reaching out, just typing I mean, if you know who that person is, so I don't know either at that facility. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Jones.
No, that's all right, because I want him to say, what he learned. So go ahead and share with us. Before you start, do you remember how long ago this was?
This is about 5 years ago. Are you talking about when the group was completed?
When you participated in the group.
It was around 2022, 2023.
Dr. Walker's not here, right? Like, I don't want to hold it against him because I can't see it, but we also have nothing in writing to support that. And Officer Saunders, I know that that's not her regular facility, so she may not have the information for the person to contact. Mr. Soto, do you mind just giving us a few minutes to try to look into that?
Okay.
All right. Well, can we go into executive, not into executive session? Can we, We're gonna take a brief break,
Okay.
a brief recess. Thank you. You can stay there. You can stay there. Just give us a few minutes to try to look into it.
Okay.
Okay, all right, Ms. Nance, you may continue. Go ahead, you can respond.
I think I got confused with social skills. Cause I did that with the guy in MY.
I think that's what we're thinking as well, that you confused, that you conflicted amendment.
You can just they probably asked you questions about the offense and how
Yeah,
you deal with that socially, and it was all part of what you were working through during that skills program. But according to the transcript, you did participate in an evaluation while you were at MYI. Is that right? For your attorney had somebody come and talk to you?
yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
So that's one evaluation, the one while you were at MYI, that your attorney requested. But you also, do you remember the one that you participated in January of this year?
Is that one the problem sexual evaluation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, I
Okay.
did that.
So you understand now it's not the actual problem sexual behavior treatment that you completed,
Right.
but you probably completed the assessment or the eval at the request of your attorney. And then as a formal part of being in Department of Corrections, you are referred to the connections for them to do an evaluation.
Okay.
Okay. So do you understand now the difference between the problem sexual behavior treatment program?
Right, not the evaluation.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So again, while I appreciate the fact that you did come forward, I want to go back and ask you a little different question.
Okay.
You indicated that at the time when you committed the offense, that you knew it was wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So have you been able to figure out why it was wrong, but you still went ahead and did it?
You know, I was just feeling really alone. I was really depressed, and there's really no good excuse for why it happened in the first place. And I knew it was wrong, so I told who I had to tell so I can get help.
So Mr. Soto, I know that because you knew you did something wrong, that I think participating in the problem sexual behavior treatment program is important for you.
All right.
Do you feel that way?
I feel like now being in here, I really took a lot of stuff for granted being in the world. So, I would appreciate the little things, being in the community, and I just want to get my life straight. And I think it's important for me to get that help, whether it's on the inside or the outside. I would like to get that help either way.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think I like about the program that you had to complete during your incarceration is the fact that it will help you to deal with both inside and outside.
Right.
And I just heard you say that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
Okay. And you completed the Voices program, and I know you indicated how helpful it was to you because it made you realize the impact, the larger impact of all the people.
Yes.
That was negatively impacted.
Right.
And so I know you have the support of your uncle and your father and your stepmother.
Yes.
But I do feel that it's important for you to get that treatment as a head start for when you go out.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
Now, go ahead.
I was gonna point out to the facility I'm in. I think I did ask to go to that group, but I don't think they offer it here.
They don't,
Okay.
but it might be that you can get transferred where you can get to take that program.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you about employment.
Okay.
Now, were you working?
In here?
No. Before
Oh.
you were incarcerated.
I was working, yes.
Okay. What kind of job were you doing?
At first I had 2 jobs. I was working at Subway and Town Pump.
I noticed that on your OAP, you also have a vocational referral.
I did not know that.
So perhaps what you can do is to look into what other programs beside the sex offender treatment program that might help you while you're preparing to go back in the community.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so I had another question in terms of, I know that right now that you are receiving mental health treatment, and I don't want to go into any details of it, but has that been helpful to you? It's a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a good plan of what it is that you need to do going forward?
Yes.
Great. Okay, well, thank you for sharing with me today, Mr. Soto, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. Ms. Palmieri?
I have no follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Soto, I do have a few follow-up questions. You were able to identify as depression and you're feeling lonely when you committed this offense. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.
How do you intend to handle those feelings when you're out in the community?
Honestly, I referred myself to therapy because I know that's something I need when I get out.
Okay. And what, do you have any idea as to why you were feeling so lonely?
It's just nothing was going right in my life, and I just, acted out on it, and I shouldn't have.
Why? What do you mean things weren't going right in your life? Elaborate on that.
Well, because I had a good program I was going to. It's called Job Corps, and that had just COVID shut it down, and we were stuck at home. I couldn't find a job.
So this was during COVID. So
Right.
I mean that had a negative impact on all of us.
Yeah, I didn't deal with that very well.
Did you speak to your parents about it at all?
No.
Do you have any idea why you were reluctant to share with them your feelings of inadequacy or loneliness or?
I'm not gonna lie. I usually keep my emotions bottled up, and I know that's not a good thing to do because bad things can happen.
That's accurate. I mean, I think a lot of men take on that same, stance that they have to hold those things in. They're not allowed to really show emotions. But it's okay to say, I'm not okay. So how do you intend to, when you're feeling that way again, I know you spoke about a therapy, but do you think that you've established a relationship that's close enough with your parents or your family now to be able to say, I'm not okay, I need help?
Honestly, I probably could talk to them. It's just I'm always reluctant to. But I feel like now, because we speak on the phone, I feel like I can talk to them more and be more honest with them.
And have you had an opportunity to deal with your own abuse as a child?
I mean, I talked about it with my social worker, and they helped me, understand why it happened when I was younger. So, it's not resolved fully yet, but I will get
You're
there.
working on it.
Right.
You're working. I think that it's good insight that you have, that you connected your own abuse to the abuse that you did to your sister. And I think that, like you said in your opening statement, your accepting responsibility is the beginning of your getting into recovery. So you, aside from this conviction, you have no other criminal record. You still have the love and support of your dad and your stepmom?
Yes.
Where's your mother?
I don't talk to her. We don't really get along.
And what about you spoke with Ms. Chance about your uncle. Any other family support in the community?
I mean, I have my brother and my grandmother from my mom's side.
And are they all in Connecticut?
They're all in Connecticut, yes.
And so if you had to choose any of those family members as a confidant or a confidant, which one of them would you choose to confide in?
Honestly, probably my uncle.
So you have that close relationship?
Yeah, I've gotten really close to him while being in here. We talk on the phone a lot.
How old is your uncle?
I'm not sure exactly. I think 34, maybe 35.
So you guys are only like 10 years apart, so you really may have some things in common that you can learn from him. Does he have a criminal history?
He not a felony, no.
Not a felony, no. Okay. No, I mean, but he could have some lived experience if he's ever been in prison or gone to jail. He can, help you navigate some of those feelings and help you make a better decision than the one you did with your sister. That you're in prison now. So, Mr. Soto, while I don't like the fact that you haven't participated in treatment, there are several positive things that you have going for yourself when I look at your case. One is that you don't have any other criminal history. 2 is that you've accepted full responsibility for your actions and you can identify why you did what you did. And you also took initiative to try to stop the behavior so that it would not go any further by telling on yourself. You tried to take steps prior to your being sentenced to receive evaluations and engage in treatment and therapy. So those are all things that are positive, in my opinion. You've been down since December of 2021, right? 5 years, almost 5 years? Well,
yes.
4.5 years. And that's quite a bit of time. And you still have a lot of time to go because you're not done until 29. Right. So I really do think that you need the treatment and it's not there in the facility. I saw that you were smoking a little bit of marijuana when you were out there and it was laced with cocaine. So you tested positive for cocaine, but do you think that drugs played a role in your actions?
No, not at all. Cause that was after the fact that after this whole situation happened when I told them.
And also the mental health medication that you're currently using. do you think that you'll be able to carry out that regimen out in the community on your own without someone having to make you take it?
Yes, I believe I'm capable of taking my meds in the world.
All right. Okay, so give us a few minutes to talk about your case, sir. We'll give you our decision shortly. You can listen, but please do not interrupt.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Shannon.
So I came in here today from Minnesota with denying rehear because I did not see where he had completed the sex offender program. The break that we had to take to clarify that, which I'm glad that we were able to assess that there was a confusion between his attorney's recommendation to have an evaluation done and the fact that he had one done in January of this year with the Connections program. So I know that when the offense happened, that Mr. Soto thought about it and realized that he needed to tell someone and reported himself, which is very unusual for that to happen.
Usually they're caught and then they.
Right, but he admitted everything that he did. He went as far as to say he knew it was wrong, but he still did it. But during questioning today, he did indicate the first thing that he told me is that he was experiencing some loneliness, but in further conversation, you know, it goes back to what was done to him, you know, that he was going through some trauma. But while he is where he is now, he's addressing his mental health and, you know, is addressing some of the problems that led up to him committing this offense. In his opening statement, he talked about completing the Voices program and that he realizes the wider impact of the impact to not just to the victims and her family, but to all of the family members involved with both of them.
Yeah, it has a trickle effect.
And in the community. And so for a young man, I just thought that he has truly acknowledged, did not lie, when he was asked about the smoking of the marijuana, and he indicated that it happened after the incident. Now, I know during his incarceration last December, he received a DR for Stinger. And I know we didn't ask him about that, but just through questioning, he certainly understands what he needs to do when he's back in the community, and actually said he knows he will need help with the sex offender program. And so I think based on the questioning and Mr. Soda's response, he is rated low to moderate risk to reoffend, but I think he's at the point where he has gained some insights into his offense. He knows what he has to do, and he's been down for almost 5 years.
And he's amenable.
And he is very open to all the treatment.
Right. And that's what he needs.
We're asking of him that he needs.
Right.
And so I would be willing to grant discretionary parole today.
I agree with Ms. Chance. I think that he's very amenable to treats, already showing, very progressive signs of what he needs to, how he needs to conduct himself in the community to continue to be at a low risk to recidivate. He's done what he can throughout this time of his incarceration. And we know that he'll be referred to treatment in the community. His 10 years on the sex offender registry. He's got some support in the community, as been pointed out. So I do think that he's appropriate for discretionary parole today.
I agree.
Suitable.
I believe he's suitable as well. I think that he absolutely needs the treatment. He's amenable to the treatment, and he will receive it, whether he wants it or not. But he wants it. So in the community, and this is his only criminal conviction. So I too think that he would benefit from discretionary parole. Go ahead, Ms. Chance.
I had mental health treatment and met client halfway house problem sexual behavior treatment and the no contact with the victim NS.
I also have no minors.
And no contact with minors
But
without PO's permission.
Yes. And I also, I didn't have the mental health with the medication compliant. I just had the mental health evaluation and treatment. And that way, I know he's a 4, but he just said that he does not have an issue with taking his medication, and he believes that he's capable of maintaining that regimen out in the community.
Yeah, and all the documents indicate that he's compliant.
Yeah. Okay. So we don't have the okay.
So we're ready with our official decision with regard to Demetrius Soto, 438650. I move to grant discretionary parole on or after today's date, which is May 7th, 2026, with the following conditions in addition to the standard parole conditions. You are to have no contact with your victim. Her initials are NS. You are to have no contact with minors without the parole officer's permission. You will participate in problem sexual behavior treatment in the community. You also participate in a mental health evaluation and receive treatment as deemed necessary. And we gave you the halfway house for residential placement. Did I say everything, ladies?
Yes. Can I just have you, because you said mental health evaluation
and treatment,
not mental health treatment?
No. Did I say everything aside from that? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, so Mr. Soto, congratulations, sir. You've been granted parole. Please understand that we take these type cases extremely serious because children are most vulnerable out there in the community amongst those who are elderly or sick. And we really do frown on these type crimes. And I think that we discussed at great length some of the positive things that you've had to support your discretionary parole here today. And I hope that you take advantage of this opportunity because we normally would like to see people in your position to complete the treatment prior to your being released. So we're having faith, we're extending, I guess, that an opportunity to you to do what you need to do out in the community. So I hope you make good on that. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. This is posted here for Demetrius Soto, plate number 438650.
You're all set.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Person here with Maldonado Rivera.
The officer turned captions off again because I do not believe they will work for Spanish.
Okay.
Sir, can you ask the officer to come in for a moment? Are you able to?
Actually, the officer.
Oh, no to the immediate accent. You have the officer coming to.
¿Puedes pedirle al oficial que venga al cuarto en donde se encuentra usted?
Sí.
Ok, gracias.
Gracias.
Llaman a ella oficial. How you doing?
Good. I'm just gonna have you turn the captions off.
Right. Captions off. All right.
Perfect,
Good.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Morning, Daisy. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or solemnly sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as an interpreter to the best of your abilities, so help you God upon penalty of perjury. I do. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Officer Saunders. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. And this is the hearing of the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles. The following persons are present this morning, and by stating their names on the record certified, they have reviewed all statutory required documents and available pertinent information in preparation of this hearing.
Good morning, I'm Councilmember Barry.
Deborah, go ahead, Joy. Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Buenos días, soy la oficial de libertad condicional Saunders. Hoy es jueves, mayo 7, 2026 y esta es una audiencia de la Junta de Indultos Libertad Condicional del Estado de Connecticut. Los siguientes miembros de la Junta están presentes esta mañana y al decir sus nombres en el registro certifican que han revisado todos los documentos exigidos por la ley y la información pertinente disponible para la preparación de esta audiencia. La presidenta del día de hoy, Barry, y los miembros de la Junta, Deborah Smith Palmieri y la señora Chance.
Please state your name and MA number for the record.
Por favor, decir su nombre y número de confinado para el registro.
Buenos días, Julio Antonio Maldonado Rivera, 440238.
Good morning, Julio Antonio Maldonado Rivera, 440238.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Julio Maldonado Rivera, MA number 440238. He is serving a total effective sentence of 12 years jail, execution suspended up to 5 years jail, followed by 5 years probation for carrying a dangerous weapon and robbery first with a deadly weapon. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of November 1st, 2026. There is no victim input in this case.
Esta audiencia se está llevando a cabo en consideración a la solicitud de libertad condicional de Maldonado Rivera, número de confinado 440238. Él está cumpliendo una condena de 12 años de prisión con ejecución suspendida después de servir 5 años de prisión, seguido por 5 años de libertad provisional por portar un arma peligrosa y robo en primer grado con un arma letal. Hasta el día de hoy, los expedientes reflejan una fecha de elegibilidad para libertad condicional de noviembre 1, 2026. No hay testimonio de víctima en este caso.
There is offender accountability. It has been reviewed and shown that the offender has completed alternatives to violence, basic, and he reports that he is currently a barber at Gardner Correctional Institution. He is currently participating in New Thoughts and People Empowering People. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the SRT falls within the moderate range of risk for recidivism. Mr. Maldonado Rivera, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should grant parole. You may begin.
Hay un plan de responsabilidad para el ofensor, el cual se ha revisado y muestra que el ofensor ha completado el programa de alternativas a la violencia en nivel básico, conocido en inglés como Alternatives to Violence Basic, y reporta ser un peluquero o un barbero en el centro penitenciario de Gardner. Actualmente participa en los programas conocidos como New Thoughts y People Empowering People. Utilizando el sistema colaborativo estatal de evaluación de riesgo de ofensor, el puntaje general del ofensor en el SRT se encuentra dentro del rango moderado de riesgo de reincidencia. Señor Maldonado Rivera, esta es su oportunidad para expresarle a la Junta por qué cree usted que se le debe conceder la libertad condicional. ¿Puede usted comenzar?
Sí, buenos días. Yo entiendo que si me darían la oportunidad de ingresar a la libre comunidad, mi pensamiento y mi objetivo es irme a trabajar, conseguir una vivienda y rehacer mi vida.
Yes, good morning. I'm understanding that if I am allowed to be released back into the community, my main focus and then also reconstruct my life.
¿Algo más?
Y también, sí, quería expresar también que lo que sucedió en mi situación es la primera vez que estoy confinado. No lo hice en mi sentido común, fue bajo los efectos de la droga. Estoy en verdad pues, arrepentido de lo que pasó. Entiendo que no lo vuelvo a hacer por ninguna circunstancia porque yo también soy una persona adulta y estoy avergonzado por lo que me pasó y pues si el gobierno me da una oportunidad pues entiendo y espero en mí poder hacer las cosas bien y no volver a hacerlo, honestamente.
Also, I wanted to say what happened, about what happened. That was the first time that I'm incarcerated. I was not thinking right at that time. I was under the influence or the effects of drugs. I do apologize, and I do promise not to do it again, or I am going to say that I'm not going to do it again, because now I feel like I've grown as a person. I am now an adult, and I do feel embarrassed or ashamed. If the government were to give me another opportunity, I will try to do things right and not do this again.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Rivera, for your opening statement. We do have some questions after reviewing your file. When we're done with our questions, we will deliberate and give you our decision. And Ms. Palmieri will start with questions.
Muchas gracias, señor Maldonado Rivera, por su declaración de apertura. Nosotros tenemos unas preguntas que hacerle después de haber revisado sus declaraciones, sus documentos, el expediente. Entonces le vamos a hacer algunas preguntas. Una vez que hayamos terminado con las preguntas, nosotros vamos a hablar acerca del caso, tomar una decisión y dejarles saber cuál es esa decisión. La señora Palmieri Smith Palmieri va a comenzar con las preguntas primero.
Thank you. So, Mr. Rivera, in reviewing your file, I note that you do not have an extensive criminal history. It appears at the time this arrest occurred, you were struggling with substance abuse.
Muy bien, señor Rivera. Después de haber revisado su expediente, puedo ver que usted no tiene un historial largo de antecedentes penales. Parece que cuando usted cometió este delito estaba usted bajo los efectos de la sustancia.
Sí, es correcto.
Correct. You were on probation. Why were you not asking for help with your substance abuse?
Usted estaba bajo la libertad provisional. ¿Por qué es que usted no pidió ayuda para su adicción de sustancia?
Sí, lo que pasó fue que cuando me dieron una probatoria de 2 años, me soltaron viernes para la libre comunidad por la noche y no supe a dónde recurrir porque en realidad yo no conozco el estado de Connecticut y donde me soltaron fue al lado de un sitio aquí en Bridgeport donde yo andaba y volví a tropezarme con personas que estaban en el vicio y me enfoqué en la droga porque no sabía dónde estaba ni nada y no sabía dónde recurrir.
Yes, what happened is they gave me 2 years probation, but when they released me, they just let me go free at night. I didn't know the place where I was in because I don't know Connecticut well. So they released me at Bridgeport, and whenever they released me, I ran into people that are addicts. So that was my main focus, the drugs.
Yes. So you were having a substance abuse problem. I see that you were using fentanyl and you were not employed at the time. And I understand Bridgeport is a new community for you. However, did you think about trying to get help for your addiction?
Sí, veo que usted estaba teniendo problemas con el uso de sustancia, nombrando fentanil. Veo también que usted no tenía empleo en ese momento y claro, Bridgeport es una comunidad nueva para usted, pero usted en algún momento pensó en pedir ayuda para su uso de sustancia.
Sí, lo pensé, incluso fui a un programa de metadona que es ahí mismo en Bridgeport, que no sé en el sitio, es como una montaña que hay, y fui ahí, hablé con una trabajadora social y me habían puesto como para tener una cita para seguir un tratamiento de metadona.
Yes, I actually did. I thought about it. I actually went to a methadone health place. I don't know the name of it or where it's at. It's somewhere up in the hill. But I saw a social worker there and they were going to schedule me an appointment to follow through with a methadone abuse or use program.
Okay. So did you commit this crime before you were unable to follow through with that?
¿Usted cometió este delito antes de que usted pudiera asistir a este programa?
Sí.
Yeah.
All right. Right. So you attempted to steal a car from this woman. She gets in the car and you threaten her with a knife. Why didn't you just get out of the car and run?
Porque usted intentó robarse un automóvil, un vehículo de una señora. Cuando ella intentó pararlo, usted la amenazó con una navaja, un cuchillo. ¿Por qué la amenazó en vez de salirse del automóvil, del vehículo y correr?
Sí, eso es lo que alega el papel de la corte, que fue lo que argumentó, pues posiblemente ella o el policía, pero en realidad el carro estaba prendido. Yo me monté en el vehículo y arranqué. Yo nunca tuve una interacción o la tuve de frente a la dueña del carro, que incluso me vine a enterar que el dueño del carro era una mujer en la corte.
Well, that is what the court documents allege. But to be honest, I got in the vehicle. The vehicle was on with the ignition on. I got in the vehicle. I went in. I never had the car owner in front of me. I simply got in. The car was on, and I left. I didn't even know that the owner of the vehicle was a woman until my court date.
Well, the police report says that the owner attempted to get into the vehicle and you threatened her with a knife.
El reporte de policía indica de que la dueña del vehículo intentó meterse al vehículo y que usted la amenazó con una navaja, una cuchilla.
Sinceramente, no fue así la situación. Incluso yo traté de hablar con mi abogado en la corte sobre algo que él me dijo, que yo tenía un arma de fuego cuando tampoco yo no tenía ningún arma de fuego. Y el problema que tuve en la corte fue que en realidad, como no sé el idioma, me atendió una persona que no me buscaba traductor, pues tuve que coger los años que estoy haciendo actualmente en realidad. Pero sí estoy claro de que me robé el vehículo, pero no es la forma de que la policía o los dueños del vehículo están diciendo que fue así. Y yo simplemente pues asistí a la culpabilidad para salir de eso. Porque sí estoy claro de que me lo robé y estaba bajo el efecto de la droga.
Mr. Revere, you have to give the interpreter a moment.
Señor, tiene que dar momento, pausar y ser breve y hablar despacio para interpretar. ¿Está bien? Well, honestly, it was not like that at all. And this is something that I told my attorney at a court. Another thing that I had a problem with that the attorney had told me while I was at court is that there was a mention about a firearm. I never had a firearm in my possession. So those were problems I had during court. Another problem that I had while I was at court is that I didn't speak the language. They didn't really provide me with an interpreter. So I just had to accept the years that they were sentencing me to. I am aware and I do accept that I stole the vehicle, but I didn't steal it the way that the police reports are saying, or the police is reporting, or how the owner is reporting. I simply had to accept the guilty plea to get it over with, but it wasn't done like that, and I did it while I was under the influence of drugs.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Rivera, you're currently in school? Are you in the GED program?
Muy bien, señor Rivera. Usted actualmente está en la escuela. ¿Está usted ahorita en el programa como es conocido con las letras GED, que es el programa para escuela de adultos?
Sí, correcto. Estoy yendo cuando llaman, porque hay días que llaman, hay días que sí, hay días que no. Y pues tengo lo que está ocurriendo en unos programas. Tan pronto ellos me llaman, pues yo estoy asistiendo.
Yes, that is correct, although not consistently, because sometimes they call me, sometimes they don't. But if they have a program, then I am going to it.
And you completed the Alternatives to Violence program. Was that in Spanish?
Muy bien, y usted también completó el programa el programa de alternativas a la violencia, conocido en inglés como Alternative to Violence Program. ¿Este programa se lo dieron en español?
Lo dieron en inglés, pero hay unos muchachos que hablan español y ellos me estuvieron traduciendo. Incluso aún yo hablando el idioma español, ellos me traducían y tuve participación también presente en dinámicas que hubieron.
Well, they gave it to me in English, but I got to know some men in there and they spoke Spanish, so they were able to interpret for me. So even though I spoke in Spanish, I was able to participate and be part of the dynamic.
Okay, very good. You're currently in New Thoughts and People Empowering People. What do you think about those two programs?
Muy bien, usted actualmente también está en el programa que se llama New Thoughts y también el programa que se llama People Empowering People. ¿Qué piensa usted acerca de esos programas?
Bien, entiendo que lo que me están, por lo que puedo entender que me traducen o me explican, porque a pesar de todo trato de entender un poco el inglés porque lo necesito, es que en realidad lo que ayuda es a tratar de controlar la violencia y no seguir en la violencia ni meterse uno en problemas.
Well, yes, from what I understand, because, they try to interpret for me. I do try to understand it in English because I do need English, but they do help me try to understand it. And from what I am understanding is that they help you to try and control violence or violent behaviors and to try and leave those behind.
Thank you. Mr. Rivera, it seems to me that your primary concern right now is your substance abuse, your drug use. You have not done or have not been able to complete a drug treatment program. Have you thought about how you will stay sober, not use drugs in the community?
Muy bien, señor Rivera. Entonces me parece que su enfoque principal o su problema principal en este momento es el abuso de sustancias, especialmente las drogas. No ha podido participar o no ha podido completar usted un programa de tratamiento de drogas. ¿Ha usted pensado cómo es que se va a mantener sobrio o limpio de drogas una vez que usted se reintegre a la comunidad?
Bueno, sí, le soy sincero, lo que me sucedió a mí fue con las drogas, fue ya siendo una persona adulta, fue acá arriba en el estado de Connecticut, ahí en Bridgeport, que probé las drogas como tal y en realidad me siento limpio, siento que no tengo la necesidad de recurrir a las drogas y de estar en la libre comunidad. Si necesitaría asistir a algún tipo de programa de adicción a droga para poder seguir manteniéndome bien, pues lo haría, pero le soy sincero, me siento mentalmente como físicamente para en realidad no meterme más droga porque a donde me ha conllevado.
Well, yes, to be honest, so what happened to me with the drugs, it already happened to me as an adult. It happened in the state of Connecticut, in Bridgeport. That's where I tried the drugs. But now I am clean. I don't feel that I have the need to go back to drug use. If there was a drug addiction program or a drug treatment program that I could attend, then I would do it. But I do feel like I'm mentally and physically ready or prepared at this time in my life to be able to be drug free.
All right. You also have a number of disciplinary reports. My records indicate you have 12 disciplinary infractions. The last was in November 2025. So can you tell us why you're having so many difficulties at the prison?
Muy bien, también veo que ha tenido usted varios reportes disciplinarios. Aquí muestra que ha tenido usted 12 reportes disciplinarios. El último fue en la fecha de noviembre 25. ¿Puede usted, por favor, explicarnos o decirnos por qué está teniendo usted tanta dificultad en la prisión?
Sí, mire, el problema esencial que siempre he tenido desde que ingresé a la prisión es el idioma. Bien, cuando me ingresan en estas prisiones de aquí, no sé mucho el idioma y somos 2 personas por celda. Entonces, al yo vivir con una persona en 2 por celda, no tener el idioma, se me ha hecho muy difícil en el sentido de usar el baño, cómo expresarle a la persona que necesita el baño, me han robado mis pertenencias. Entonces, pues incluso hasta por ser hispano, muchas personas de diferentes razas, pues en realidad se molestan conmigo porque no tenemos un idioma y muchas veces, si se fijan, tengo refusing housing porque trato de expresar a los oficiales que no puedo vivir por la persona porque no tenemos el idioma y pues termino discutiendo con la persona y me roban. ¿Y qué puedo hacer? Pues me voy del área, trato de decirle a los oficiales, incluso los oficiales aquí.
Mr. Rivera, the
Sorry.
interpreter.
Yes. So my main issue is really the language. I don't know the language, and the way that part here is 2 people per cell. To me, that makes it very difficult to be able to do things like use the bathroom. How can I tell the people or express to the person that I need to use the bathroom? I've gotten my things stolen. And to be honest, just the fact that I am Hispanic or being Hispanic, that makes other people of other races want to get in trouble with me. Also, if you can tell or if you can see, I've also have refusing housing or refusal of housing because I don't know how to express to the officers that I cannot be in there because of the language barrier. So then we start arguing. My things end up getting stolen. I mean, what else can I do except leave that area or that space?
Okay. Well, I appreciate that you're having some difficulties. I understand that I do understand the language is an issue for you. However, there seems to be a lot of difficulties with in a lot of different areas, much more than just the language being the primary issue. So, all right, Mr. Rivera, thank you. I have nothing further, Madam Chair.
Muy bien, señor Rivera. Entonces, yo entiendo, puedo apreciar de que usted está teniendo dificultades porque no entiende usted el idioma. Entonces, sí entiendo que no entender el idioma es un problema para usted, pero de todas maneras, a mí me parece que usted está teniendo varias dificultades en varias áreas, no solamente lo del idioma. Entonces, no sé si el idioma sea el único o el enfoque primario o principal. No tengo más preguntas para usted. Gracias.
Thank you. Ms. Chan?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you. So, Mr. Maldonado Rivera, I do have one or maybe 2 questions. So you told Ms. Palmieri that you sought out a methadone treatment when you were out in the community. How did you get clean in the prison?
Muy bien, señor Maldonado Rivera. Yo sí tengo una o dos preguntas que hacerle. Usted le dijo a la señora Palmieri que usted buscó un tratamiento de metadona. ¿Cómo es que usted logró mantenerse limpio de drogas en la correccional?
Porque me decidí a no meterme droga, entendiendo que lo que hice fue un error en mi vida y me puse para lo mío en el sentido de que pues, me acerqué a Dios, le dije que no quiero volver a la droga y quiero mantenerme limpio.
Well, I just decided not to use drugs by understanding that what I had done became a mistake in my life. I got close to God and I just told him that I did not want to use drugs and I wanted to stay clean.
So did you experience symptoms of withdrawal?
¿Usted tuvo síntomas después de no usar la droga, experimentó los síntomas de abstinencia?
Sí, bastante, sí. Tuve lo que se le dice una enfermedad y pues la rompí, hablé con el área médica, me dieron varios medicamentos ahí y pues la celda con agua y bañándome y resignado a mí de que podía y pues entiendo que lo logré porque me siento bien.
Yes, a lot. I call it a sickness. I even went to the medical area. They gave me meds or medications in the cell. I would use water, I would shower, but I just had to tell myself that I could do it.
So no methadone treatment currently?
Entonces actualmente no está bajo tratamiento de metadona.
No, bajo ningún tratamiento de ninguna sustancia.
No, I'm not taking any substance treatment.
Okay. And in the report for this offense, it says that you used the victim's credit card. Did you do that?
En el reporte para este delito o esta ofensa indica que usted usó la tarjeta de crédito de la víctima. ¿Usted hizo eso?
Sí, lo hice correcto, sí. Fui a un puesto de gasolina, compré 2 cajetillas de cigarrillos y un mantecado y la pasé por la de eso. Sí, lo hice, es correcto. Porque estaba puesta ahí en el asiento de al lado, estaba la ID esa.
Yes, I did do it. I went to a gas station. I bought 2 boxes of cigarettes and a pastry or a cupcake because it was sitting right there in the seat next to me.
Give us a few minutes to talk about your case, okay? We'll give you our decision shortly.
Está bien, denos unos minutos para hablar acerca de su caso. En un momentito le daremos nuestra decisión.
Disculpe, ¿cómo?
I'm sorry. Can I repeat? Oh, está bien, denos un momento para discutir su caso, hablar de su caso y en un momentito le daremos nuestra decisión.
Ok, ¿me quedo aquí sentado o salgo?
Okay, do I leave or do I stay here? Quédese ahí.
Ok.
Ms. Palmieri, thank you. So, Mr. Rivera, he's before us for a robbery in the first degree with carrying a dangerous weapon. The report tells us it involved a knife. Mr. Rivera does deny that. He admits stealing the car. He admits using credit cards. He has a minimal criminal history here in Connecticut. He was on probation when this occurred for use of motor vehicle without the owner's permission and evading responsibility.
Ms. Palmieri, can you just give the answer?
Muy bien, entonces tenemos aquí que el señor Rivera tiene los cargos de robo en primer grado con el uso de una arma peligrosa, en este caso es una navaja. Que indica el reporte, el señor Rivera niega esa parte, pero sí admite a que se robó el vehículo, al igual que también al uso de las tarjetas de crédito. Él también tenía una ofensa aquí en el estado de Connecticut, por el cual estaba bajo la libertad provisional por haber usado un vehículo sin permiso.
So I am encouraged with some of the programs that Mr. Maldonado is currently taking. I appreciate that he's doing his best effort, even though they are not in his language, but he's working hard to do that. At the time of this offense, he was addicted to substances. I have fentanyl in my notes, and it appears that he was also struggling with housing at the time. He was homeless. He's working on his schooling. I do a couple of things. Mr. Maldonado is struggling with addiction when this occurred, and he is not completing addiction services program.
Muy bien, entonces, acerca del señor Maldonado, siento que él está tratando su mejor esfuerzo, o está haciendo su mejor esfuerzo, aunque no es en su idioma, él está trabajando muy duro para mejorarse. También tengo aquí en el reporte que en el momento que él cometió esta ofensa, él era adicto a una sustancia. Tengo en el reporte aquí que esa sustancia era fentanil. Cuando cometió esta ofensa, también tengo que durante el tiempo que cometió esta ofensa, el señor Maldonado era una persona que no tenía un hogar, una vivienda. Entonces se puede decir que era un vagabundo que estaba viviendo en la calle. Pero él en este momento se está tratando de mejorar, incluyendo que está asistiendo a clases escolares o de educación. Al igual que también el señor Maldonado en ese momento, es lo que he notado, que en ese momento que cometió el delito estaba él combatiendo adicción y él no ha completado un programa de tratamiento de adicción.
He also has 12 disciplinary reports, which is a considerable amount of infractions for him, and the most recent was just a few months back. So I do think that there's some struggles with obeying the rules at the facility. Although I do appreciate the good programming that he's done, I do hear elements of offender change. I don't find Mr. Maldonado suitable for discretionary parole today. One, for the disciplinary reports, and two, because I really think he should have an addiction services program prior to going into the community. The underlying issue with this robbery is that he was addicted to substances.
Él también tiene 12 reportes disciplinarios. Siento que esa es una cantidad considerable. Siento que él está teniendo problemas con obedecer las reglas o obedeciendo las reglas de la instalación. Siento también que, aunque yo aprecio que él está asistiendo o haciendo un buen trabajo con los programas a los que está asistiendo, no ha asistido a los programas que él debe de asistir. Siento que que encuentro que el señor Maldonado es no es apto para la libertad condicional discrecionaria. Primero, porque tiene esa cantidad de reportes disciplinarios, y segundo, porque no ha acudido a un programa de tratamiento de adicción. Y cuando él cometió el delito que cometió, lo hizo siendo un adicto a sustancia o droga.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Ms. Chance?
I agree with all that Ms. Smith Mary said.
La señora Chance tuvo oportunidad de hablar y ella indicó que ella está de acuerdo con todo lo que la señora Smith Mary mencionó.
So the official reason is poor institutional adjustment and inadequate program participation and evidence of offender change, or?
Yeah. I didn't have evidence of offender change. I do think that he can recognize his behaviors, how they go wrong. He doesn't agree with some of the elements of the offense, but he does acknowledge and understand what his mistakes were.
Okay, so just inadequate program participation and poor institutional adjustment.
Yes.
Bien, entonces estamos hablando de las opciones de participación insuficiente en el programa institucional y mala adaptación institucional. También estamos hablando acerca de pruebas insuficientes del cambio del ofensor. La señora Silvanier dijo que en realidad ella no tenía esa parte porque usted reconoce sus comportamientos. Aunque no ha aceptado todos los elementos que se mencionaron durante el delito, usted sí ha aceptado el delito en sí que ha cometido. Entonces, lo que están mirando ahorita de razones sería la mala adaptación institucional y la participación insuficiente en programas de la institución.
Thank you. So with regard to Julio Maldonado Rivera, 440238, I move to deny discretionary parole based on his poor institutional adjustment and his inadequate program participation. He will not receive a new hearing. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye.
Muy bien, entonces en el caso de Julio Maldonado Rivera, número de confinado 440238, se hace una moción para denegarle la libertad condicional por las siguientes razones, que sería la participación insuficiente en el programa institucional y la mala adaptación institucional. En este momento no tenemos una fecha nueva para otra audiencia. Todos, tengo un segundo, hay un segundo, todos de acuerdo, todos han estado de acuerdo.
This concludes the hearing for Julio Rivera, inmate number 440238.
Esto concluye la audiencia de Julio Maldonado Rivera, número de confinado 440238. Puede marcharse.
Gracias.
Officer Saunders, with this new program now, yeah, they can see us. So my question to you is, Mr. Janias, who is our next person, are you doing that hearing? Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, we appreciate you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Officer, if I could just get your help on your tablet for one moment so you can see the board.
Sure.
So there's a button on the left-hand side. It'll say you're in attendee view, switch to presenter view. So you want to press that.
Okay.
And then if there's a chat window on the right-hand side, you can just press the chat bubble to make that minimized since we don't use it.
You know what? I don't see that.
If it's not on your TV, then that's fine.
Yeah, I don't see it.
But you see the board off to the left now?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Do you see the boardroom off to the left of your TV now?
Do, yes.
Perfect.
I'll go see if she's. Are you looking for Janias?
Yes.
Okay, let me get him down. Hey, send me Janias back, please. 45, so. What was it, 45? Copy that. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Okay, he's gonna be coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh. So it's fit like this all day. Right over here. It should be up. But they give it to me.
Good morning. We're going to get started in just a few moments.
All right.
Officer Saunders. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. And this is a hearing of the Connecticut pardons and paroles. The following board members are present this morning by stating their names on the record, certify that they have reviewed all statutory required documents and available pertinent information in preparation of this hearing.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. I'm Panel Member Barry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
And any number for the record.
What's your name and your inmate number, sir?
Oh, Isaiah Genius, 426-855.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Isaiah Genius, inmate number 426-855. He is serving a total effective sentence of 10 years jail, execution suspended after 3 years, followed by 5 years probation for attempted assault first with firearm, 2 counts of violation of probation with underlying offenses of carrying a dangerous weapon, criminal mischief first, and carrying a pistol without permit. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of April 1st, 2026. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan. It has been reviewed and shows that he has not completed any programming. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score on the SRT falls within the very high range of risk for recidivism. This is now your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
I feel like I have made mistakes, and you learn from them. I've been in jail for a while, and I just want to get my life back on track. Like, I don't even plan on staying in the state of Connecticut. My last known address on file in North Carolina, and my dad owned a trucking company. I've been studying to get my CDL, and I just like another second chance so I could go back down there and get my life together, because I was young, I made a mistake. And
okay. So, Mr. Genius, I appreciate that information. And our issue with that statement is that you were residing in North Carolina, but you came back to Connecticut. Why?
My mom had a sickness scare, so I came back, and that was my mistake because when I found out she was fine, I should have went back. But
Right.
I met a female, and I just ended up staying up here with her, and that was I was immature still.
Well, you're 26 years old now, and your father in the PSI spoke to your character, and he agreed that you needed to stay out of Connecticut. And I think that he made that position clear to you. I'm not sure why you would go against what he said in knowing that Connecticut is problematic for you, that you return.
Because honestly, growing up, my mom was all I ever really had. So hearing that kind of scared me. So to rush back for her, that was big for me. But I should have went back. But I was more scared of if I went back, would they violate me right there for leaving? And I just I made a mistake.
How are you doing down there on probation?
I was doing fine. I just wasn't catching cases. I always had a job too. Like that's big at my dad. I was staying there. He always made sure that I gotta have a job.
So what number weapons conviction is this now?
I think I didn't get charged. I didn't get convicted of a weapon in this case.
You were charged with a criminal attempt to an assault first, and you had a criminal possession of a weapon with your underlying case. You also got a carrying a dangerous weapon. And I see that you were also arrested in New York for something similar.
Yeah, the last one you said from carrying a pistol, that was from my last case when I was shot. I had a pistol on me at the time and I was charged with it. And then in New York, I got my YO for that one because I was young. And it didn't have any bullets or a clip into it. It was like an empty firearm. I was being young and dumb playing with it.
What dangerous weapon did you have on August 8th, 2017?
BB gun or a knife, one of them. I don't remember.
So that's okay. So and then carrying the criminal possession of a weapon without a permit, that was a gun.
Yes.
So now we're still talking about 3 weapons, and then this 4th one involves shooting, several people shooting, and you were captured on video. One of the things that stuck out to me in your interview with the parole officer was that you were constantly laughing about the questions that she was asking you. And I really didn't find anything funny about it because you and your co-defendants were acting as if you were in the Wild West and shooting out in the store. Like someone was shot in the face. Someone was sitting in their house, if my memory serves me correctly, and were struck by a bullet. All because, yeah, I mean, I don't know when enough is enough. And to be honest with you, we're talking about a period of 4 months of supervision because I show your end of sentence is September of this year, and you've accumulated 15 more violent disciplinary infractions. You've taken no programs. Are you in a gang?
No, and I can't do a program because they have me in the county, but they don't provide that here. Yeah, okay. They don't provide that here.
How do you stay out of trouble, Mr. Genius?
I just literally sit in my cell all day, and like I've been trying to sit in my cell, watch like movies on my tablet. I talk to my mom or my dad.
Your last ticket was in March, and you have 15. So you got threats in October, an attempted assault. You got disobeying direct orders, or threats in September 25, a fight in March 25, an intox in January of 25. I mean, it's really difficult to support parole when all your criminal history and your current behavior is all violence. It's all violence, and you rate out very high. You haven't given us very much to work with, Mr. Genius. I mean, I really can't see where, I could support parole in your case because you haven't given me anything, nothing to work with. What do you want out of your life, sir? What do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life?
Drive trucks. I want to actually do dump trucking, start my own business of that. Branch off my father's and start a dump truck company.
Yeah, well, it's possible. And you see, there's a whole bunch of trucks out there on the highways. So even during COVID, those people still had jobs. So it's a good job to go into, but we can't have you making deliveries to people when you have a history of carrying weapons. How do we know you're not going to put guns on the back of the truck and transport them across state lines?
I was young. I made a mistake.
You're still young. You're still young, Mr. Genius. And stop using that as an excuse. It's not. It's your poor decisions.
I just don't want this life no more. It's not for me.
I hope not. Ms. Chance.
You know, Mr. Genius, you keep saying that, you know, you were young or you're young. The 19th of this month, you're going to be 27 years old, correct?
Right.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what's scary about what you were involved in. The 3 of the victims who suffered from gunshot wounds, 2 were bystanders. One was shot in the thigh, you know, in the presence of her 2 children. And another victim was shot while inside his home. You know, and according to the official documents, the shooting was a result of gang involvement. So are you denying that it was?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Well, who gets up and go out there and do wild shooting?
It wasn't a gang. It wasn't gang involved because I'm not in a gang. So it wasn't that.
Well, you know, I do agree with my colleague. You haven't completed any programs. You amassed the 15 disciplinary reports, which demonstrates to me that your behavior during incarceration mimics your behavior in the community. So I do think that you know, need to do a couple before you go back in the community. And as she said, you have until September of this year to do as many programs as you can.
Why are you still in county?
I don't know. They sent me back here from up the way.
From where?
I was in Gardner. They sent me back. They sent me to Bridgeport County, and from Bridgeport they sent me here.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
Are you done with your process, Ms. Chair?
Yes. Well, you know, I'm all set, Mr. Genius. I just wish you the best of luck and hope that when all of this is done, that, you know, you're gonna go back where your father is and pay attention to what he's trying to assist you with.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. Ms. Smith?
So, Mr. Genius, why are you,
Oh, Mary, I apologize.
why are you having so many difficulties in the facility? I mean, 15 disciplinary reports in a fairly short amount of time. Why are you having so many problems? You can stay in your cell and just read and watch TV.
For my incarceration, my charge. People didn't like that. A lot of people, that was their friend. They didn't like that.
So that's where all the threatening and the disobedience and the interfering all comes from, just because of what you're charged with? Has nothing to do with you being unable to follow the rules or get along?
I mean, honestly, I look at it as, right, when I first got sentenced, I got sentenced to 3 years, correct? 3 years. So I looked at it as, it's 3 years. I'm at the end of it now. Like, honestly, I didn't come down here thinking I was going to get granted parole. And I knew that for a fact. That was the option. I wasn't worried about that. I go home in literally 120 days. There's nothing that can stop that. You get what I'm saying? I could have caught
Yeah.
a ticket today and came down here and still went home. So
Alright.
it's like, there's nothing to it. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So
So do you have any insight into why you're having troubles getting along at the facilities? Because I think it goes to being in the community, you know, being able to follow the rules, go to
Nah, it had
something
nothing-
school and not.
it had nothing to do with that. It just, in jail, people are disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's confrontational in here a lot.
Yeah, we do understand some of that, yep. We also have a lot of individuals that seem to be able to stay away from the confrontation, the nonsense. Because I'm thinking, you know, if you want to go to trucking school, you're gonna have to get along with the people in school. If you want to be a truck driver, you're gonna have to obey the laws of the road, you know, get along with whoever you're working for. You know, there is a trickle down effect to being able to think about what the rules are and how you're gonna manage yourself within them. So, good luck to you, Mr. Genius.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, Mr. Genius, your hearing, we don't have any more questions, but as the officer stated, we do have input from one of the victims, and we are going to ask that you be respectful, not interrupt, and allow that victim's piece to be put on the record.
Who?
There's victim input in your case.
A victim in my case?
Yes.
Okay.
So please be respectful and not interrupt, and allow the victim's advocate to review the statement or allow the victim to speak, okay? Thank you. Mrs. Williams, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, panel. I just spoke with one of the victims in this case, well, these cases, and I was asked just to relate to the board that the hope is that the inmate has learned his lesson. No further input. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think Mr. Genius, and I appreciate the victim taking time out of the schedule to contact our advocate to piece, and unfortunately, we don't really have much to work with to support his
I have a
being,
question.
yes. We
That was
can't
a
reveal who the victim was. We
No,
cannot.
I'm
we
not.
don't-
That was a victim in my case that said that?
There was, yes, one of the people that were injured in your case said that they hope that you're doing better. That's all. So give us a few minutes. We're going to deliberate and we'll give you our decision. I really think that Mr. Genius was spot on. I will not be supporting parole today, so my vote will be to deny. Ms. Chance.
I'm of the same opinion.
I agree with my colleague. It's unfortunate that, you know, he has been unable to do programs and has had so many difficulties. He certainly has the wherewithal to understand what he needs to do to be successful.
Hard.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay, so with regard to Isaiah Genius 426-855, I move to deny parole based on his criminal history. His offense was committed while he was on probation, inadequate evidence of offender change, and his poor institutional adjustment. Are those okay? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, Mr. Genius, you'll receive this in writing, sir. Good luck to you.
All right.
You're gonna be bored again for a couple of minutes, please. Council started.
What that means that not.
My name is Officer Saunders. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2026. This is the case to assess functional conditions for Shannon Patrick, inmate number 168890. Board members, please take your names to the record.
Panel member Barry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
That's actually, I have 94 days of special parole for the small second, the elderly or other. At this time, the panel will deliberate and provide the decision for the record.
Thank you, Officer Saunders. So it's our understanding that Mr. Shannon has a detainer from a assault third and a breach of peace that he received in Hartford. There is a warrant out for his arrest, and there is a court date that has been scheduled. So our setting these conditions, our are in no way a reflection of, I can't even talk, of our failing to see or not knowing about the detainer, but we do, and because we don't have a sentence, we're going to set the following conditions. What I have is no alcohol. It says he was intoxicated when he committed this offense, no victim, domestic violence, and a halfway house for residential placement. Is there anything else?
I did not have anything else.
Okay, so with regard to Patrick Shannon, 168890, I move to set the following conditions. He will consume no alcoholic beverages, no contact with his victim, CW, domestic violence in the community, and a halfway house. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
This concludes for case review for Shannon Patrick, inmate number 18890.
Good afternoon. My name is Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is a parole eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Jonathan Elcaro, inmate number 318661. Board members, please identify yourselves for the record.
Panel Member Berry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri. Joy Chance.
All right, Mr. Caro's case is being reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125 lowercase a. He is currently serving 3 years concurrent for a violation of probation, underlying offense being assault second degree. Mr. Cotto also finds himself serving a total effective sentence of 1 year concurrent for failure to appear first degree under his current BOP docket. The panel will now deliberate and make their final decision.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. Ms. Chance?
So, the assault second, for which he was on violation of probation for, I looked at the failure to appear first, for which he was sentenced on December 10th, 2024, which he had the 1 year to serve. So I didn't see any further evidence of violence, so I had him at 50%.
I agree, Ms. Chance. He does have a violent history, but his incident offense I wrote down involves his relapsing and not reporting.
Right.
I have the same, 50%. So I move that Jonathan Cotto, 318661, be considered for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Right, this concludes this designation review, eligibility designation review for Mr. Jonathan Alcado, 318661.
Officer Vasquez, I just wanted to state on the record while we're doing these hearings, this is not people that we are considering for early release. These are just to designate when a person will be heard to determine their suitability. This has nothing to do with any type of early relief or suitability for parole.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. I'm Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is the parole eligibility designation review being conducted by Mr. Brandon W. Hamel, number 348988. Board members, please identify yourselves to the record.
Panel Member Barry.
Jefferson Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Mr. Hamill's case is being reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125, lowercase a. Mr. Hamill is currently serving 4 years for a violation of probation. Underlying offenses being a sexual assault first-degree victim, less than 13 years old, active greater than 2 years old, along with an accompanying underlying illegal sexual contact victim less than age 16, and 2 counts violation of probation. Mr. Hamill is also serving a total effective sentence of 1,395 days concurrent for an intentional cruelty to persons charge. The panel will now deliberate and make the final decision.
Thank you. Ms. Palmieri?
Thank you. So as the parole officer stated, Mr. Hamel is, his offense goes back to 2000. His original offense for the violation of probation was back to 2011. Does involve a sexual assault in the first degree and risk of injury. He's had several violations of probation since then, all involve failure to comply with treatment, essentially. Failure to, one, I believe, failure to comply with the registry as well. He was recently, this most recent violation involves an incident with his live-in partner at the time, who subsequently died from injuries from another person at the home of Mr. Hamel and her. The other individual is a co-defendant in this. I had Mr. Hamel designated at 50%. I do not, his history, the original charge is a violent offense. However, everything after that is a technical violation. And this new violation, although, you know, the victim is deceased and that is, you know, a horrific situation, Mr. Hamel is not charged in that, other than his failure to, I guess, render aid in a timely fashion. So I have him at 50% serving this violation of probation.
Okay.
Designated.
Thank you, Ms. Palmieri. I actually had Mr. Hamel designated at 85%. And the reason being is that while you are accurate in stating that he failed to report and failed to register, according to the official violation, it says that the police were contacted regarding abusive or domestic stuff while on both sides repeatedly at this address. And one of the cases that he received a nollie for, he pushed the victim, who is now deceased, as you stated, through a door after the police had already been there 2 other times. So the continuation, in my opinion, of the violence, and when you put, I think that the way he reacted to this victim being hurt was indicative of the, I don't want to say the level of respect that he had for her, but I just think that the relationship may have been just so toxic that it stopped him. Like it blocked him from being like a genuinely concerned that she was hurt, or, you know, like, I think that the issue is that he just said, he was like, go, just get up, and she was really hurt. And I think it was part of his decision making just in that moment. And was it a good one? No. Yeah, but go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to add, I did read all of that as well. There was a history with the victim and Mr. Hamill. There was no convictions for the behaviors. And, you know, there is Mr. Hamill was also intoxicated at the time. So that I factored that into it as well as it being is impairing his judgment.
Right, thank you. So you got to the word that I was trying to spit out, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's a horrible situation. I do not want to have that reflect on the fact that the victim its life is taken.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the continuation of behaviors. I think the lack of respect for another person it continues. Despite his lengthy periods of incarceration, he still I mean, and I know it's fueled by addiction as well. So I'm not trying to minimize either, but that's my position. Ms. Chance.
So when I left to go home yesterday, I had spent quite a bit of time on this because I went all the way back to his 211 assault, charges. And I left here saying that, it's an 85%. I came in this morning and I actually re-reviewed all the reports again. And I'm looking at just before this offense happened, he had 2 altercations with her where he verbally assaulted her, but she did not file any charges. And I thought about that because I'm thinking, this sounds like, an abused person. She wouldn't, I think, because she was probably afraid of him. And so I read the actual incident when his co-defendant in the car, was the one that actually ran over the victim. There was a delay in seeking help. But when I read it, he was intoxicated because he said, he was drinking alcohol. And I think somehow that impaired his decision making, which caused the delay. So I had to go back because I'm looking at the behavior, and the behavior for what he's being charged today is 50%. I realized that, later on, when it comes to him attending a parole hearing, because all we're doing today
is setting
whether it's 50 or his eligibility.
Right.
When he has the hearing.
We're not looking at his suitability. We're strictly looking at his eligibility, which does not mean that he's going to be granted parole. It doesn't mean that he's not either. So, I mean, that will be determined by a separate board, separate and apart from this process.
Right. So I ended up where I had 50%.
All right.
Yeah.
So after discussion, I'm going to move that Brandon Hamill 348988 be eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. So the record will reflect that panel member Berry, which is myself, is thought that 85% was appropriate.
Great. Decision noted. This concludes this eligibility designation review for Mr. Brandon W. Hamill in inmate number 348988. Good afternoon. My name is Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is a parole eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Savon T. Riley, inmate number 417249. Board members, please identify yourself for the record.
Panel member Berry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Thank you, board members. Mr. Riley's case is being reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125, lowercase a. He's currently serving 4 years concurrent for a violation of probation, underlying offense being a robbery second-degree weapon dangerous instrument, along with the accompanying underlying offenses of 2 counts violation of probation. Mr. Riley is also serving a total effective sentence of 731 days concurrent for criminal possession of firearm ammo defense weapon charge. Mr. Riley is also lastly finding himself serving 364 days concurrent for the charges of possession of controlled substance on second offense and another violation of probation, the underlying offense in this instance being engaging police in pursuit. The panel will now deliberate and make their final decision.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. So a review of this file indicates that Mr. Riley was on probation for what the robbery, as the officer said, was a dangerous weapon. My understanding that was a gun. And his current offense involves a criminal possession of a firearm, and selling drugs, and violating the terms of his probation. When he was apprehended at the gas station, the officers found him in possession of another gun while he was trying to flee. While the panel does frown upon weapon convictions, and the underlying offense that Mr. Riley is currently serving time for absolutely involved violence, I would say that the new offense behavior does have the propensity for violence, but I don't think reaches the level as that it would to support an 85% designation, in my opinion. So I would say that he should be eligible for full after 50%. Ms. Chance?
I agree.
I agree as well. Thank you. I move that Savon Riley, 417-249, be eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
This concludes the eligibility designation review for Mr. Savon T. Riley, 417-249. Good afternoon, I'm Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is a parole eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Garrett A. Rollo, inmate number 422467. Board members, please identify yourselves for the record.
Panel Member Berry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Thank you, board members. Mr. Rollo's case is being reviewed today for eligibility designation in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125, lowercase a. Mr. Rollo is currently serving 15 months for a violation of probation. Underlying offenses being an assault second-degree firearm, along with accompanying underlying offenses of 2 counts of violation of probation. Mr. Rollo is also serving a total effective sentence of 33 months concurrent for another violation of probation. Underlying offenses in this instance being illegal sexual contact victim less than age 16, enticing a minor by computer, and along with another violation of probation. The panel will now deliberate and make their final decision.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. Ms. Chance.
So this one, this is another one that I struggled a little bit with. So, you know, he violated the probation for the assault second degree with the firearm. And then he had a second violation of probation for the illegal sexual contact with victim and enticing minors. So after a review of Mr. Rollo's offenses, his most recent violation for the 15 months for the assault second with the degree of firearm, I thought that was 85%.
Okay. I have the violation being when he was released to the January center, he was spitting on the staff, he wasn't going to treatment, he was making racial slurs, he was being disrespectful to the staff and not following the rules.
I did too. It's poor behavior at the January center.
That's what I have, and because of that, I had him designated at 50%.
Okay. I had designated at 50%.
Okay, all right.
I'll
Thank you.
go with it.
Thank you. With regard to Jared Rolo, 422467, I move to, that he be eligible for discretionary parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
This concludes this eligibility designation review for Mr. Jared A. Rolo, 422467. Good afternoon, I'm Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is the eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Jeffrey Schumacher, inmate number 43361. Board members, please identify yourselves for the record.
Panel member Barry and Deborah Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
All right, so Mr. Schumacher's case is being reviewed for eligibility. Let's do that again. Mr. Schumacher's case is being reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125 lowercase a. He's currently serving 3 years for a violation of probation, underlying offense being robbery, first degree firearm threat. The panel will now deliberate and make the final decision regarding this case.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. Ms. Palmieri.
Thank you. So recognizing what Mr. Shoemaker's underlying charges are that are of a violent nature, and that he has a prior sexual assault in his history as well. The violations in my review were technical in nature, so I had Mr. Shoemaker designated at 50%.
Okay. I do as well. Ms. Chance?
I do.
Oh, yeah, I saw that he's cut off his GPS, he absconded, and okay.
Moved
All right.
without permission,
Right,
didn't
okay.
feel informed.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so I move that Jeffrey Shoemaker, 433-661, be designated eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, board members. This concludes this eligibility designation review for Mr. Jeffrey Schumacher, inmate number 433661. Good afternoon. My name is Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is a parole eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Quentin M. Shaw, inmate number 374624. Board members, please state your names for the record.
Panel member Barry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Right, so Mr. Shaw's case has been reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125 lowercase a. Mr. Shaw is currently serving 3 years consecutive for violation of probation, underlying offense being a burglary first degree at night charge. Mr. Shaw is also serving a total effective sentence of 18 months concurrent for a burglary third degree charge. He additionally finds himself serving 364 days concurrent for a harassment second degree charge. It lastly bears noting that under the same current BOP docket that is being considered today, Mr. Shaw is also sentenced to 3 years concurrent, execution suspended, followed by 3 years probation, and that for a failure to appear first degree charge. The panel will now deliberate and make their final decision.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. So my review of this file, it shows that Mr. Shaw's girlfriend wouldn't give him money, and he called her threatening her to put pictures of them having sex on the internet. While it's an ugly crime, it's very disrespectful, but it doesn't rise to the same level of violence as an underlying offense, the burglary one at night. So I would support his being eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Ms. Chance?
I agree.
I agree. Thank you. So I move that Quentin Shaw, 374624, be designated eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, board members. This concludes this eligibility designation for review for Mr. Quentin M. Shaw, 374624. Good afternoon, I'm Parole Officer Vasquez. Today is the 7th of May, 2026. This is a parole eligibility designation review being conducted for Mr. Martin J. Swain, inmate number 411849. Board members, please state your names for the record.
Panel Member Barry.
Deborah Smith Palmieri.
Joy Chance.
Okay, so Mr. Swain's case is being reviewed for eligibility designation today in accordance with Connecticut General Statute 54-125 lowercase a. Mr. Swain is currently serving 4 years for a violation of probation. Underlying offenses being a conspiracy to commit robbery, first-degree firearm threat, along with its accompanying underlying 3 counts of violation of probation. Mr. Swain is also serving a total effective sentence of 2 years concurrent for failure to appear first degree pending charges offense. The panel will now deliberate and make their final decision.
Thank you, Officer Vasquez. Ms. Chan.
So Mr. Swain, VOP, the current one, is really for failure to appear. And despite the fact that he was serving 4 years and had the violation for conspiracy to commit robbery with a firearm, and then 3 counts of violation of probation, the actual failure to appear does not appear to have any violence, despite the fact that he had that serious conspiracy robbery firearm. So I had him designated at 50%.
Okay. I actually had him designated at 85%. Ms. Palmieri?
I had designated at 50%.
The reason for the 85% designation was that he was fighting with a victim and strangled their victim too. And this person had visible marks, and he later on went to the hospital and expired, but it wasn't related to the victim, the injuries that he had from their altercation. I also incorporated the fact that this is Mr. Swain's 4th violation of this term of probation. Enough is enough. So that was why I had it designated at 85 cents. However, 85 cents, 85%. However, I'm going to move that Martin Swain 411849 be designated eligible for parole after serving 50% of his sentence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. So the record will reflect that Mr. Swain will be eligible for parole after serving 50%, and I am on the minority.
Right. Majority decision noted. Thank you, board members. This concludes the eligibility designation review for Mr. Martin J. Swain, inmate number 411849. Also let the record reflect that this concludes these proceedings on this 7th of May 2026 for the correctional facilities, Corrigan, Garner, Hartford, and also the designation reviews that we just concluded. The time is now 12:31 in the afternoon.